like what was discussed by Attorney Colmenares. But the summary killings in the name of said drug war transcended into the extrajudicial killings of lawyers who handled criminal defense in drugs cases, as enumerated in the presentation of Attorney Colmenares. Worse with the daily murders related to the drug war. Unscrupulous individuals started hiring hitmen or assassins to settle scores or resolve conflicts through the barrel of the gun. Otherwise stated, the breakdown in law and order brought about by the daily murders and non-laban stories arising out of police operations in the name of the drug war led to the unprecedented murder of lawyers, fiscals, and judges across the country during the 6 years of the past administration. I say unprecedented because although the drug war deaths of mostly men out of urban poor areas are equally important, the scale of the violence is unimaginable based on the official data from the Integrated Bar of the Philippines.
Lopez,
According to the IBP,
Glenda
since
Janito,
the year
Ironheart.
1972 up to the end of the past administration's term, there have been 133 lawyers murdered by reason of their sworn duties as officers of the court.
Mariana, hello.
And this is a big but. During the 6 years of the past administration, if we go by the numbers provided by NUPL, 59 lawyers were killed under the Duterte administration. If we go by the numbers of FLAG, 61 was the number of lawyers killed, while the IBP official list stands at 63 lawyers murdered under the past dispensation. Again, I say that this is unprecedented because almost half of all lawyer murders happened in just
Sir Danny, na-late ako
the
sa
6
Danny.
years of the Duterte administration. Imagine 133 from 1972 to the end of the past administration. And it's 63, almost half, happened within that 6 years. One of such extrajudicial killings is the murder of my late brother, Attorney Rex Lopoz, who was brutally killed when about to get inside his car at the parking lot of the mall in Tagum City, in Davao del Norte last 13 March 2019. Attorney Rex Lopoz was an active member of the Union of People's Lawyers in Mindanao, or UPLN. His litigation practice, however, heavily involved the criminal defense of persons accused of illegal drug use or illegal drug selling. As a result, during the brutal drug war, he became part of the statistics of personalities merely suspected of being involved in drugs, yet subjected to extrajudicial or summary killings. Tata Rex, as he was fondly known amongst his friends and our family, was just 41 years old when he was gunned down by, at that time, unidentified assailants when he was about to enter his pickup truck.
Busy kasi
Again, it
kanina mga
was in the
Pamela.
early evening of 13 March 2019. In his college years, Tata Rex was a student activist who rose to become the regional chair of the League of Filipino Students, or LFS. Thus, when he became a young lawyer, it was natural for him to join and be an active member of UPLM, and he proceeded to represent labor organizers and
Alice
leaders,
Cooper, hello.
labor unions, farmers and farmers groups, and
Ma'am Mel
indigenous
Darcy.
peoples as part of his human rights advocacy and people's lawyering. Attorney Tata Rex somehow in the course of his law practice became the go-to guy, quote-unquote, of accused facing illegal drugs charges, almost entirely by word of mouth in Davao de Oro, our home province. This led to his being able to develop a litigation practice with many cases involving illegal drugs. I would say he was fairly successful in such practice. While there was a police investigation conducted over his murder, there were no significant findings from the PNP. Instead, it took our family, especially one of my brothers, to secure extensive copies of all the CCTV recordings from the mall management, the City Mall in Tagum City. And the
May Tagum
CCTV
din squad din
recordings
pala.
would show the events prior to his murder, during the actual shooting itself, and right after my brother was already shot and he already fell down on the ground. They probably did not know that there were more than 20 CCTV cameras all over the mall that captured what happened to him. Some fraternity brothers of ours who are also law enforcement officers have been reviewing the footage from the mall CCTV system and arrived at an extremely important finding. Based on their initial findings, this is from our fraternity brothers who are also law enforcement officers. Tata Rex was a victim of rogue police units that wanted to profit from the reward system put in place by the former dispensation for law enforcement agencies under the brutal drug war. He was apparently placed on a list of high-value targets or HVPs. Those in such lists during this time in the past administration, whether or not the information or the basis for their being included in the list were veritable or unverified or even baseless and unfounded, they were in constant danger of EJKs. Being in such high-value target list, my brother, Attorney Rex Lopoz, was supposedly assigned an amount for his head, and these rogue police units decided to cash in by assassinating him. Again, this bit of information was provided to us based on an unofficial investigation conducted by our fraternity brothers who are law enforcement officers. Their initial conclusion, again, that the killing of my late brother was state-sponsored in nature as it was undertaken by law enforcement officers. By the way, I already discussed this during the investigation of the Caravana lawyers, lawyers from the European Union, affiliated with the International Association of Democratic Lawyers, prior to the QUADCOM hearings, prior to knowing that there were testimonies to the effect that there was indeed a reward system put in place during the DUTERTE drug war. So this information was relayed to me prior to knowledge that there are sworn testimonies proving that there was indeed a reward system during that time. Unfortunately, until as of even date, considering that the alleged suspects are still in active service, and the fact that a couple of months after the death of my brother, when we were actively investigating the case, I was subjected to several death threats over a course of 2 to 3 months. It was a harrowing experience on my part and my family. And for that reason, his immediate family, my sister-in-law, his widow, and his 3 children, has not commenced the
Pasensya kung hindi ko kayo ma-shoutout ha. Kasi
or
sa cellphone ko hindi ko makita
against
yung
the
mga
suspected
comment. May
personalities,
timing na
and
hindi
I
ko
can
makita talaga.
understand why. But in some, the family of my late brother Tata Rex, Attorney Rex Jasper Lopoz, concluded that his handling of criminal cases involving drug personalities contributed to his death. And personally, I have an in-depth knowledge of the initial death threats against my late brother. Last January 2019, in the early part of the month, as I can probably recall, the hearings in the courts just resumed after the Christmas and New Year break. I was stepping out of the Hall of Justice in RTC Branch 56 in Compostela, Davao de Oro. I received a call on my cellular phone from an unknown number. Although it was not my habit to answer calls from unknown numbers, a relative of mine texted me at that time also to answer a call coming from a concerned person. So I answered the call. That person would not reveal his true name and instead just requested me to listen and immediately possibly take action. The caller, the unnamed caller, told me over the phone that he was a police asset and that he was initially assigned to be the hitman or assassin to kill my brother, Attorney Rex Lopoz. According to the caller, because Tata Rex was placed on the HVT list and carried a substantial amount of reward on his head, he was an active target. I plead that he will reveal his name or identity so that I can verify the information that he gave me. But he continued to refuse to reveal his name. And he continued instead to tell me that, Attorney, I actually, in vernacular, ibalibad ko na dawato ng assignment. Kaya nasayod ko na si Tata Rex, maayon ko. In English, he refused to take the assignment to assassinate my late brother because from his very own words, Attorney Tata Rex was a good man. Maayong tao. That's what he told me. He added that I must convince my late brother to urgently have his name cleared with the PNP so that he will be removed from the HBP list. That sent shivers down my spine because it came out of the blue. Why would somebody call me up to tell my brother and warn him that he was in a drug hit list? So I went to see my brother immediately. I had a long talk with him. But he was adamant in saying that if they want to charge me, they have evidence against me. Charge me in court. Charge me in court if I'm involved in any drug activity. I told him that these are dangerous times. These are difficult times. 2016 to 2019, that was the height of the drug killings, the extrajudicial killings. He also refused, although we have a fraternity brother who is a ranking official in the PNP, and he was a good friend of his rather. I told him to go to our bukad. Clear your name. Clear your name. This is very dangerous. But he was hard-headed and said that I'm a lawyer. I'm doing my job. So nothing came out of our discussion, although I really tried to convince him. We treated that as a serious death threat. And in fact, just 2 months after that call, that fateful call, my brother was EJK, was summarily killed. My late brother left behind his widow, and 3 young children. And the UPNM lost a people's lawyer whose heart was truly into human rights advocacy and service to the marginalized in society. Just a few more seconds. Can I backtrack a little bit, Your Honors? There is also strong circumstantial evidence that my brother was killed as a result of his handling of drugs cases in court. In the early days of the Duterte administration, although I'm not anymore so sure as to the exact timeline, the exact date and the month that it happened, but during those initial days, several law enforcement officers, together with my best friend from high school, went to see me early in the morning in our residence and asked that we have an early morning meeting at Provincia Restaurant in Davao City. That's the restaurant, or eat-all-you-can restaurant just behind Victoria Plaza Mall in Davao City. When I arrived there, I was no longer able to eat my breakfast because the law enforcement officers showed to me pictures of 2 cell phones where they supposedly found out that the name and contact information of my late brother, Attorney Rex, were recorded in those 2 cell phones. They told me that the cell phones were seized in an anti-drug operation somewhere in Davao de Oro. They argued that according to their evaluation and analysis, my late brother must have been connected with his drug personalities because his contact numbers are recorded in these cell phones. I countered that all I know is that he is a known go-to guy of arrested drug persons by word of mouth because he does not charge as much. Being a people's lawyer, he did not charge so much for drug suspects. Despite the fact that the going rate in Davao for drug cases is as low as 200,000 per case, up to 500,000 in some other cases. Now, the law enforcement officers who talked to me argued that according to what they evaluated, my brother has somehow, according to their analysis, this must be part already of the structure, the drug structure, because why is it that most of his cases are involve illegal drugs filed before the different courts? Why is it that most of his practice involved drug suspects? But I said, that's our work, that's our job as lawyers. And I asked them, what do they want me to do, or what they expected from the information that they relayed to me? What should I do? And they answered that they just want that my brother will stop or cut whatever connections he has with drug personalities, because they are starting to believe already that he might be involved in the structure of drug elements due to the extensive legal services he was rendering for arrested drug suspects. So I promised to talk to my brother. A big argument actually erupted again between me and my late brother, as he was adamant that he's not connected with any drug structure, drug element, and that if the police had any evidence, they should have filed cases already in court against him. Because I believe that these are circumstantial evidence that the murder of my brother was state-sponsored, in the sense that law enforcement officers have already made up their mind that his defense of many drug suspects in court is more than enough proof that he is connected with drugs. My brother was no saint. I can admit that. However, his modest way of life and that of his family will prove that he has not handled any case for a known drug lord or big-time drug personality. Court records will also show that he has not handled any such drug cases involving alleged drug lords or big-time drug personalities. Instead, his clients were mainly petty drug users and petty drug pushers.
Kindly wrap up.
Yes, one final point, Mr. Chair, is another circumstantial evidence to back up the initial findings of our fraternity brothers. Because months after the murder of Attorney Rex, they reached out to me again, asking for copies of the CCTV recordings of the killing of my brother. Because according to them, they were building a case against the same suspected rogue police unit out of another case where the victim survived an assassination attempt somewhere in Compostela, Davao de Oro. According to them, the modus operandi employed was practically similar to the killing of my brother. The color of the vehicle used, the make and the model of the vehicle, the attack using a sniper rifle, the bullet used, a 5.56 NATO round. There were also 2 or 3 lookouts used to follow the movement of the target. Those were exactly what happened to my late brother based on the CCTV recordings. My brother was killed with a 5.56 NATO round bullet, as shown in his autopsy. The bullet hit his spine initially and then blasted into smithereens his liver. It was a kill shot through and through, and he was not expected to survive that shot. So with these circumstances, it now shows that we can connect the dots and come to the conclusion that as a lawyer handling several criminal cases for drug suspects,
So, hindi ko talaga
the late
mabasa
brother,
ang mga comment niyo
Attorney Rex
kasi wala akong monitor.
Lopoz, was definitely killed in the name of the brutal drug war. Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney Lopoz. And last to make his short statement, Attorney Chair John.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. Unang-una po, ako'y nagpapasalamat kay Nanay Arsenia at kay Nanay Elizabeth. Bilib na bilib po ako sa inyong katapangan at kami po ay nakikiisa sa inyong pakikipaglaban para sa hustisya. Ang mga nanay po yung mga biktima ng war on drugs na hindi talaga napapag-usapan. Kasi ang karamihan ng napatay nung panahon na yon ay mga lalaki. Pero sila yung nawalan ng asawa, sila yung nawalan ng mga anak, at sa kanila rin napunta yung burden nung nawala nga yung mga kapatid sa buhay. I think that we should also honor and recognize the hardships that they have had to go through because of what happened during that time. Ang nangyari po sa inyo, Nanay Arsenia at Nanay Elizabeth, ay hindi lang kayo nag-iisa. Dahil sa aming pag-aaral ng mga kaso ng war on drugs, pare-pareho po nakita namin pattern. Unang-una, pinapasok nila yung mga bahay na walang warrant of arrest o walang search warrant. Pangalawa, sinasabi nilang nanlaban yung mga biktima. Pero obvious naman sa pagbasa namin ng mga police report na cut and paste lang po ang mga version ng police. At karamihan din sila ay naging biktima ng war on drugs dahil nailagay lang yung kanilang pangalan sa mga drug list. Director General Lasas himself admitted before this QUADCOM that of the 6,000 plus names on those lists, up to now, only 1,500 have been validated. Gusto ko rin pong ibahagi sa inyo na sa isang report na sinubmit ng PNP sa kaso namin sa Korte Suprema, sabi po nila, out of 42,268 police operations conducted from July 1, 2016 until 30 November 2017, only 507 or 1.2% were authorized or based on warrant of arrest. Wala po silang binigay na numero pagdating sa search warrant, pero doon sa mga inaral po namin na kaso, iisa lang ang nakita namin na home invasion na may search warrant. It would be good perhaps to ask the PNP to submit their data from 2016 to 2022 of how many home invasions were actually authorized by a search warrant. Basic na basic po sa batas natin na yung a man's home or a person's home is his castle. And no one can enter or invade our homes kahit po maliit lang na bahay yan, kahit na sabihin natin yero lang ang bubong niyan, bahay pa rin yan. At hindi yan pwedeng ipasok ng pulis, ng militar o kung sino man na walang warrant of arrest or search warrant. Kami rin po ay nakikiisa kay Attorney Lopoz at sa kanyang pinatay na kapatid, si Tata Rex. Siya po ay isa lang sa more than 16,000 na napatay na mga riding in tandem, na mga nanlaban na hanggang ngayon pagala-gala pa rin. Hindi man lang natin alam kung sino-sino sila. I cannot imagine that there are thousands of serial killers still walking our streets. Baka po, katabi natin sa karinderya yung mga yan na hindi natin alam na mga pumapatay pala sila. And that's why I would like to thank also the QUADCOM for the opportunity to have the victims appear and testify before you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Dr. John. I have your list of the members who wish to interpolate. And the first in the list is Congresswoman Arlene Brosas. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would like to ask to direct my questions to, siguro sundan ko lang yung kay Attorney Dexter Lopez. Attorney Dexter, I believe meron pa po kayong isang case, na hindi nabanggit. This is with your cousin. And ano naman po yung circumstansya nung pagkamatay ng inyong pinsan, Mr. Chair?
Another murder that I can probably shed some light was that of the late Attorney Rolando Lopoz Asido, my first cousin, who was the former city prosecutor of Mati City in Davao Oriental. He was killed also by assailants who attacked him by way of riding in tandem, killers, as he was about to park his car in front of the Mati City Hall of Justice in Dahican, Mati City, in the early morning of 26 October 2016. Note that his murder was just around 4 months into the Duterte administration, but it happened in the thick of the extrajudicial killings already po. Attorney Asido, as city prosecutor, he was actually a hemiplegic. His left part of this body was paralyzed as a result of a stroke. He was a stroke victim, probably because he was so conscientious in his duties as city prosecutor. He would work till the wee hours of the morning just to resolve cases. As far as I have actually all the details as to his killings, I would rather defer supposedly to his immediate family. But this is what happened.
Babawi lang ako, mag-shoutout na ako sa inyo kapag makaano natin ng isang cellphone ko
in
kay
the Regional Trial Court of Mati City. The judge
hindi ko nadala ang
downgraded the
cellphone ko
case
na
to
kay Nini.
homicide. He disagreed, and so he brought the case all the way up to the Court of Appeals. He won there, and that the Court of Appeals ordered the reinstatement of the murder case and ordered the rearrest of the accused. The accused refused to surrender, and then several weeks thereafter, my cousin was killed. But what is peculiar, Honorable Arlene Rosas, with his case was that, in the early days of the past administration, again, I cannot recall already the exact date and month that our conversation happened. I visited him in his city prosecution office in Mati City. And he relayed to me in person what happened to him. Apparently, he dismissed several drugs cases because according to the late city prosecutor Rolando Lopoz Asito, the version of the police was too incredible and unbelievable that he had no choice but to dismiss the cases. Apparently, these rogue police officers reported him to the administration, to the former president, that he was ordered to explain himself. He was called to Davao. That was the early days of the past administration when the former president was still holding office in Davao City most of the time. And he was made to explain. So, what is peculiar here is that his case, according to him, he was so frustrated because what he was only doing was his sworn duty as a lawyer, an officer of the court, and as a prosecutor. That if the evidence, there's no probable cause, he dismissed the cases. But instead, he was reported as having drug links because he dismissed those cases. He was so frustrated, Honorable Rosas, that he told me that I might as well leave this job. I'm just doing the best that I can do. And yet, I was reported. And then I was made to explain. He was made to go to Davao and explain. So, my point here is that...
Excuse me, attorney.
Yes.
Can you, I know how passionate you are on
Yes,
this issue.
yes, Your Honor.
And I observe that you are really fueled with passion to answer the questions of the members. But please, kindly shorten it.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes. So, my point, Your Honor, the Honorable the chairperson, is this. That this might not be, his experience might not be an isolated case. During that 6 years, there might be dozens or hundreds of prosecutors who actually wanted to dismiss the case for lack of probable cause, but for fear that they will be reported, that they will be included in the list of persons with links to drugs, that they just close their eyes and then file the cases in court, burdening our courts with cases which should have been dismissed in the very first place. And it's peculiar because just months after this happened, he was attacked. And he's now dead. So, this really is a big burden. And what happened, Honorable Rosas, is this. If you handle cases for drug suspects, you will be killed. If you are a public prosecutor who will dismiss cases, you will also be targeted. You will be placed in a list, you will be reported. What can you do? So that's what happened.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I ask this, kasi talagang lumalabas ngayon, aside from the drug suspects and alleged drug users and pushers, lawyers and other innocent people who are critical of the implementation of the bloody war on drugs were targets of the Duterte administration. Hindi lang po si Attorney Rex Lopoz, yung pinsan ni Attorney Dexter, na lawyer ng mga drug suspects na pinatay. Hindi lang mga drug suspects talaga ang pinapatay. Marami ring mga human rights defenders ninakawan ng buhay, no, sa ilalim ng war on drugs. Now, Mr. Chair, I would like to address the following question sana to Colonel Garma kung nandito siya. Mr. Chair, is she present?
She was asked to be excused. I think she just came out of the hospital the other day.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now, I would like to address the questions to the human rights organizations na lang siguro, Mr. Chair, no, here with us instead. My point of inquiry is on the synchronized enhanced managing of police operations, which is SEMPO, no? Yung series of operations aiming to quell illegal drugs and activities under the Duterte administration. According to human rights organizations, napakaraming illegal searches and seizures, arrests, and mass killings ang isinigawa during the implementation of SEMPO under the Duterte administration. And as we briefly touched upon in the previous hearings, a particular police report also stated that at the time where Colonel Garma served as the head of Cebu City Police Office, their post had the highest number of arrests on 66 street-level targets in bypass operations, all under the SEMPO operated in Cebu. At ito pong SEMPOng ito ay in-implement din sa Negros Oriental when its second version, the Oplan Sauron, was initiated. This caused the death of at least 20 Filipinos at the time when the PNP Chief de Bolsinas was the police regional chief of Region 7. So, Mr. Chair, isa itong malaking kaso ng extrajudicial killing. Kaya, can someone from the human rights organizations or lawyers here with us today explain this? Perhaps Attorney Crissy Conti of NUPL, ano po yung recorded deaths in Negros due to SEMPO, and what are the backgrounds of these people killed under SEMPO? And who were involved in these killings and operations? Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Regarding Negros, actually there is a larger context to the Negros killings because this became a killing field as early as 2017. And in fact, in November 2018, President Duterte issued a Memorandum Order 32, declared a state of emergency in the Negros Island, Eastern Visayas, and Bicol. And this was the pretext for increased operations. And the SEMPO that we recorded on December 27, 2018, for SEMPO operations that ran for roughly 3 days, 6 people were killed, 26 arrested. And there were 600 law enforcement officers involved in all these operations, from the Regional Mobile Battalion, 94th IB Army, 62nd IB Philippine Army, and 303rd Infantry Battalion. Accordingly, after that, there was also a second round on March 30, 2019. This was what I believe Sinas mentioned was Oplan Sauron. 14 were killed and 15 arrested. In context, ma'am, because this was also, sorry, Your Honor, this was also targeted as or fashioned as anti-drugs operations. In the same SEMPO, 750 grams of illegal drugs were allegedly taken, and there is a news report where SINAS surmises that perhaps these sales from illegal drugs were being
So,
used.
Mr. Chair, Attorney Cruz,
Sorry.
sinasabi niyo ba na itong SEMPO, pinaghahalo yung pagpatay sa mga drug suspects, human rights defenders, and mga inosenteng tao? Kasi yun yung binabanggit niyo ngayon eh.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, SEMPO encompasses illegal possession of firearms explosives, illegal drug operations, and service of warrants of arrests in general. These are generally anti-criminality campaigns. And then, sorry, just to add this, so SINAS in a report says that because the second SEMPO occurred in March 30, 2019, and this is weird, he alleges that perhaps sales from the illegal drugs were used to fund campaigns during the 2019 elections. So this was parang catch-all provision nila for all criminality or anti-criminality operations. And lastly, Mr. Chair, the personalities of those killed were largely farmers, activists, or those alleged to be farmer activists. Most of them were red tag.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would like to direct my next question to CHR. Mr. Chair, I would like to ask Attorney Jacqueline Digia, has your office studied and assessed the conduct of retired Police General Sina's synchronized Enhanced Managing Police Operations or SEMPO in Region 7? Do you have a tally of the extrajudicial killings committed by the PNP under SEMPO and during the directorship of retired Police General Debode Sinas in the region?
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Yes, we do confirm that we have conducted investigations on the SEMPO killings. 11 out of the 14 killings were investigated by the CHR, and 5 of those cases had forensic reports, Mr. Chair. And based on the forensic reports, it would appear that the victims sustained multiple gunshot wounds, and most of them were sustained in the head area as well as in the chest area, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, may kopya ba tayo nung?
We could subsequently submit, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, lumalabas noong panahon ni former PNP Chief Sinas. Anyway, Mr. Chair, bago po yun, I'll just go back doon sa ano. So, yung CHR Region 7, very familiar ito, Mr. Chair, Attorney Jacqueline Digia, very familiar sila doon sa mga cases ng SEMPO, right?
Yes.
So, sino po yung CHR Region 7?
The chief investigator is already retired, Mr. Chair.
Retired na siya. What is his name pala?
He was former SI Leo Villarino.
You have a new CHR Region 7.
We have an OIC chief investigator right now.
So, sino po yung ano? Paano lang
It
po
will
para
be
klaro?
OIC Chief Bayani Gelbes.
Bayani Teves.
Gelbes po.
Pero, siya na yung pumalit eh. So, hindi siya ganun ka-familiar. Unlike yung nag-retire, no? Na sinasabi ninyo. So, Mr. Chair, siguro, in the next hearing, Mr. Chair, baka po pwede pong maimbitahan yung previews, no? Na CHR Region 7 para malaman natin yung mga cases. Although, you've mentioned na medyo yung pagpatay nga ay, yung pag-hit ay diretsong pagpatay, parang ganon. Pero gusto sana nating malaman kung ano talaga exactly yung nangyari. Then, Mr. Chair, kung lumalabas nga nung panahon ni former PNP Chief Sinas bilang Director General sa Central Visayas marami talagang nangyaring pagpatay under SEMPO. Halo-halo di ba? Sinabi nga, maybe drugs, maybe pero iba-iba din. So, marami inosente. So, Mr. Chair, and under Oplan Sauron, ito yung mistulang tokhang noong panahon niya sa kasagsagan din ng malawakang pagpatay sa ilalim ng Administrasyong Duterte. Mr. Chair, marami tayong katanungan kaugnay nito at naniniwala ang representasyong ito na mainam na buksan ang mga kasong ito kaugnay ng usapin ng extrajudicial killings sa termino ng dating Pangulong Duterte. Kaya naman, Mr. Chair, I move to invite an official from the CHR Region 7, yung previous official ng Region 7 on our next hearing. And of course, most importantly, we would like to ask the good committee to summon retired Police General de Bolsinas in our next hearing, Mr. Chair. So moved, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to invite the CHR Region 7, previous regional director of CHR in Region 7, and likewise invite the former Chief PNP General de Bolsinas in our next committee hearing. Any second?
Mr.
Duly
Chair,
seconded. Hearing no objections, the motion is approved.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, instead of the regional director, it's the former chief investigator.
The former chief investigator, it's not the regional director. So please take note of the amendment. So the next interpolator is Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was listening to our resource persons about the statistics as to the number of lawyers who were victim of EJK. Do we have statistics already with respect to the prosecutors and with respect to the judges? Or does this number include already the prosecutors and the judges?
If I may, Your Honor, yes, the number already includes judges and prosecutors. Actually, just a clarification, while the NUPL reports that there were 59 lawyers killed, this number is qualified as lawyers were killed
Hindi ko mabasa ang mga
because of
comment.
work-related, but there were actually 65 lawyers and judges killed during this period, Your Honor.
And have we verified, Attorney Conti, whether this 59 or 63 lawyers, some are prosecutors and judges, were actually handling cases of dangerous drugs law? All
Yes.
of them?
Not all of them, Your Honor. There are a few, and the problem is if the police do not investigate further and float many other motives for the killing, the drug connection cannot be pursued any further. But among them would be, as Attorney Colmenares has already mentioned, lawyers of Rolando Espinosa, lawyers of Melvin Odicta. These are, so-called drug lords. There is also a former judge, Ezekiel Dagala, who was named in the narco list. There was also a lawyer, Baby Maria Concepcion Landero Ole, whose late husband's involvement was alleged to be, because he was formerly detained on drugs charges. Her late husband's involvement was the alleged motive for the killing. There was a prosecutor in the Parahinog case, Your Honor, Jeronimo Marabe Jr., and the judge in the
Grabe
same
mo,
case,
madaming attorney na patay.
Judge Edmundo Pinta. These two were killed because of their relationship.
In other words, Attorney Conti, can we say that generally these lawyers are handling or involved in dangerous drugs cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm interested to know also about the outcome of the preliminary investigation of the total number of cases which are pending during the time with the prosecution, and the number of dangerous drugs cases which are pending in court during the time, particularly that is 2016 up to 2022. Do we have a data on this?
Your Honor, unfortunately, that data would be available with the Office of the, of the National Prosecution Service from the DOJ and the Supreme Court. I understand the Supreme Court had efforts to compile these numbers, including that of plea bargaining success rate.
So,
In the
would you
program-
be willing to help the QUADCOM solicit this information from the Supreme Court? Because I honestly believe that this will help us understand and establish more what really happened during those times, particularly with respect to the war on drugs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I wish to proceed this time to XPO for Sunny Buenaventura. Thank you, Attorney Conti.
Your Honor, mayroon akong prepared opening statement. Pwede pang mabasa ito before answering your query or question.
Mahaba ba yung
Wala po. Brief lang po.
pwede bang malaman kung tungkol saan yung iyong opening statement? Mr.
Yung
Benedict?
tungkol po yung sa affidavit ni Colonel Garma accusing me of giving money as a reward.
What is the pleasure of the body? Would we allow Mr. Buenaventura to deliver his opening statement with regards to, I believe it is his answer to the accusations by Colonel Garma, tama? What is the pleasure of the body?
In the spirit of fair play, Mr. Chair, I think we should, but just short.
Okay,
Make it short, Your
please
Honor.
make it short.
Mr. Chairman.
He has already, you have taken your oath, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, anyway, I don't have any argument with regards to the reading of the prepared statement of SPO for Sunny Buenaventura. But next time, to all those resource person, dapat po, papadala niyo po mas maaga dito. That's the protocol that being established in this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. So please make it short, Mr. Buenaventura.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committees. I am Samsom Antioquia Buenaventura, a retired police officer with the rank of Senior Police Officer 4. I retired from the police service noon pa pong December 31, 2008. Mula noon, namuhay na po ako bilang isang sibilyan. Dati po akong security driver ng dating Mayor Rudy Duterte sa Davao City na naging presidente ng Pilipinas. Sa totoo lang po, right after my retirement, hindi na po ako naging security driver ng dating MRRD. Dahil po, ang gusto niya ay isang police officer ang maninilbihan bilang driver niya. Kaya mula po January 1, 2009 hanggang noong campaign period na tumatakbo siya bilang presidente ng Pilipinas at nanalo siya, hindi na po ako nakakasama sa kanya. Hanggang ngayon po, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Sa mga sinasabi nila at lahat ng akusasyong idinawit nila sa akin, wala pong katotohanan lahat ng mga yon. Nanood po ako sa Quad Committee investigation at lumabas at binanggit ang pangalan ko from the affidavit of Colonel Rolando Garma. Ayon sa affidavit niya, nakatanggap siya ng pera mula sa akin at sa dalawa pang tao na binanggit niya na sina Sergeant Swan at isang alias Boy Alsi bilang reward money para sa AJK na nangyayari dito sa ating bansa. Sa akin, hindi po totoo. Yan po ay hindi totoo. Sa mga naririnig kong mga napag-usapan sa Quad Committee investigation na may kinalaman kay Colonel Garma, tulad ng nawawalang pira sa PCSO, mga kamag-anak niya, pati anak niya na pinapasok ng trabaho sa opisina ng PCSO, mga ari-arian niya sa labas ng bansa at dito sa Pilipinas, mga nangyayari sa Cebu ayon sa dating Mayor Tammy Osmeña at kung ano-ano pang findings laban sa kanya. Itong mga pinag-usapan ito marahil ang dahilan kung bakit idinawit niya ang pangalan ko. Inakusahan niya ako na nagbibigay ng reward money for AJK para ilihis lang ang investigasyon laban sa kanya. At upang maging mas kapani-paniwala, sinabi niya na siya ay nakatanggap ng 3 beses mula sa akin na reward money para sa AJK. Your Honor, Mr. Chair, sangayon po ako sa mga sinabi ni Honorable Congressman ako sa matrix na ginawa ni Colonel Garma, kung saan wala at hindi kasama ang pangalan niya sa lahat ng kinasasakutan niyang issue. Iniiwas niya ang sarili sa investigasyon. Gawa-gawa lang niya ang lahat para makaiwas siya sa lahat ng mabibigat na issues laban sa kanya at kinasasangkutan niya. Your Honor, Mr. Chair, Colonel Garma should not accuse anybody to save herself. She has to prove every accusation she makes with evidence, hindi lang sa salita o sabi-sabi niya. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Mr. Chair and members of the committees.
With the permission of the chair,
Yes, please proceed.
Mr. Buenaventura,
Yes, Your Honor.
taga saan po kayo? Saan po kayo nag-originate or where were you born and raised?
Davao City po.
Davao City.
Yes po.
At I understand you're a police officer before your retirement. Saan po ba kayo nag-aral ng pagpupulis?
Davao City po.
Davao City rin po. And kayo po ba ay mayroong sariling pamilya?
Yes, Your Honor.
May asawa at anak po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Taga saan po ang napangasawa niyo?
Taga Davao din po.
Going back to your police career, sir, saan po ba yung unang assignment niyo?
Turil Police Station po.
Saan po yon?
Sa district ko, 3rd District of Davao. Turil Police Station, Turil, Davao City.
Toril,
Yes,
Davao
yes,
City.
Your Honor.
Anong taon po ito, sir?
May 16, 1978 po.
1978. Pagkatapos po ng assignment niyo sa Toril, saan po ang sumunod?
Tugbog Police Station po.
Bugbog,
Tugbog, Mintal, Davao City.
Tugbog.
Police Station, Mintal, Davao City.
Sa Davao din po ito.
Yes, Your
Anong
Honor.
taon po ito?
Hindi ko na maalala, Your Honor.
Can you please give an approximate year? 1980s.
1970. I think 81.
1981.
I'm not
Pagkatapos,
sure, Your Honor. 19, maybe.
pagkatapos po ng Tugbog, sir, saan po yung sunod na assignment nyo?
Sa Davao City.
Saksa.
Sa Davao City. Your
Sasa.
Honor. Sa Police Station, Davao City.
And can you please cite also the approximate year?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. Maybe 1983. Not sure, Your Honor.
1983. After Sasa, saan po kayo sunod na na-assign?
Doon na po kay Kwan na naging security driver na po ako ni then Mayor Rudy Duterte po.
Maari niyo po bang ikwento sa amin kung paano kayo napunta kay President Duterte during that time?
Mayroon pong order from Davao Metro Discom din na i-assign ako sa City Hall under Mayor Duterte's term.
Whose order was that, sir?
Davao City Police Office po.
So the order came from the Davao City Police Office. Napunta po kayo sa Office of the City
City
Mayor.
Mayor.
That was 1988.
1988.
And starting from 1988, you worked for Mayor Duterte. Can you please describe to us ano ho bang naging nature ng trabaho nyo? Sa noon ay Mayor Duterte.
Security driver po.
Security driver. And
Yes, Your Honor.
I wish to believe that as security driver, sir, kayo po ay halos 24/7 kasama ni Mayor Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Paari niyo po ba siyang ilarawan? Anong klase po bang principal or VIP si Mayor Duterte? Simula noong 1988 hanggang 2008, kung saan kayo po'y nagtrabaho bilang driver security.
Para sa akin po, mabait po si Mayor Duterte.
And can you please share some incidents kung paano nyo po na-conclude na mabait si Mayor Duterte? This is 20 long years and I am sure marami po kayong pwedeng ibahagi sa amin. Ano po yung personal nyong experience? Why you are saying mabait na principal si Mayor Duterte?
Ganito po, minsan, kung gabi magpatrol, may madaanan kaming tao, tanungin niya kung saan ka mag-uwi. We are in the morning. Tapos sabi niya, pakilala siya, Mayor Duterte, saan kayo mag-uwi? Para hindi daw matakot. Sabi niya sa Santa Cruz, Mayor, outside Davao City. May dalang bata, may dalang anak niya, tatlo. Husband, wife, at saka yung anak nila na maliit. Sinabihan ni Mayor yung backup, ihatid niyo sa Santa Cruz, Davao del Sur. So, inihatid nila.
Aside from that, Mr. Buenaventura, bukod doon sa paghahatid, doon sa nadaanan yung mag-ina, ano pa ho yung mga insidenteng maaari nyo ibahagi sa Quad? Bakit nyo sinasabing mabait na principal si Mayor Duterte?
Minsan po, manonood siya ng news every afternoon, 5 p.m. Minsan may maghingi ng tulong yung mga bata na malaki ang ulo. Tawagin niya ako. Tawagan mo si Bong. Sagutin mo ang gastos doon sa ospital. Tapos, huwag niyo nang sabihin kung saan galing.
By Bong, are you referring to Senator Bongo?
Yes po, yes po.
And with respect to you, as a driver bodyguard, personal driver and bodyguard of Mayor Duterte, ano pong naaalala niyong insidente why you are concluding na mabait na principal si Mayor Duterte? Sa inyo pong personal na buhay, ano pong nagawa ni Mayor Duterte?
Marami po.
Can you please share some?
Yung mga bata na cancer patient, binilihan niya ng bahay.
Sir, I am referring to your personal and family life. Ano pong nagtulong sa inyo?
Yung asawa ko po,
Pangulo?
kasi yung asawa ko, may cancer, breast cancer po. Tapos sabi niya, anong problema mo? Sabi ko, okay lang sir. Sabi ko, okay lang. Tinawag niya si Bong.
Tira ka gimakapos.
Tinulungan po ako. 2 beses na operahan yung misis ko.
Kaya pala mabait.
Cancer patient. Ngayon po, at least, wala na siya. Okay na. Ayos pa no. Actually, na-cure po siya, na-cure.
Nasaan po yung misis nyo ngayon?
Nasa Davao po.
And in addition po dito sa hospitalization ng misis nyo, ano po ba ang naalala nyo na naitulong ni Mayor Duterte sa pamilya nyo?
Wala naman po, kasi ako po, talaga, may sinabihan si Mayor. May sinabihan siya na yung buwan, sabi niya, son, sabi ni Mayor, ito siya, not to drag myself, ma'am. Sabi niya, ito si Sunny, wala talagang binigay sa akin itong problema. Tinutulungan pa ako. Kasi hindi kasi ako nagakuha sa kanya, sir, ganito problema ko, sir, ganito problema ko, sir, bahay. Wala po, wala talaga. Kung ano lang ang kuha niya, ma'am, na...
Anong kwan?
Siguro, wala talaga, kahit sa
Hindi ko mabasa mga comment
hindi
niyo.
ako nagakuha sa kanya na may problema ko sa mga anak ko sa eskwelahan. Magkano man ang gawa namin yun, walang trabaho pa yung first mga asawa ko. Wala, hindi ko nagakuha sa kanya na ganito, ganyan, kuwente, wala. Wala talaga, ma'am.
Are you trying to say, Mr. Buenaventura, that for a period of 20 years, that is from 1988 to 2008,
Ma'am, sorry po.
ang sinasabi niyo po ba simula 1988 hanggang 2008, ang naging personal na tulong lang sa inyo ni Mayor Duterte ay yung pagpapa-ospital ng inyong misis at wala nang iba?
Minsan po, siyempre, pagdating ng Christmas, bigyan ka ng bonus, gano'n. Pero kahit nagpatayo ako ng bahay, wala man, hindi man siya nagkuhan. Hindi ba din ako nagsabi sa kanya?
Pero binigyan ka
Nagpatayo
ng
ako ng
tulong.
bahay, sarili ko, unti-unti. Hindi ba ako nagsabi sa kanya na nagpatayo ako ng bahay? So wala.
In other words, Mr. Buenaventura, aside from the modest gifts during special occasions, ito lang ang naaalala niyong naitulong na personal sa inyong pamilya, ang hospitalization ng inyong breast cancer na misis.
Mayroon naman ma'am, pero hindi ko na makuha niya ma'am. Mga konti-konting bagay. Minsan, bigyan ka ng sapatos, search, ganyan lang ma'am.
Mr. Buenaventura, how well do you know the President? Gaano niyo po kakilala si Pangulong Duterte?
Mabait po siya sa tao.
Bukod po sa mabait na sa tao, what else can you say about him?
Kalaban niya po yung mga kriminal.
Mr. Buenaventura, I wish to believe na dahil kayo po'y taga Davao, doon kayo pinanganak, doon kayo naging pulis, doon kayo nagkaroon ng unang assignment hanggang sa napunta kayo kay Mayor Duterte. Talagang kilala niyo po si Mayor Duterte. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
As a matter of fact, 20 years of your career in the Philippine National Police was spent with Mayor Duterte. Tama po?
Yes, Your Honor.
At nais ko po sanang tanungin ito hong mga personalidad na babanggitin ko sa inyo na sa tingin ko po'y kilala nyo ito dahil sa haba ng panahon nakasama nyo siya sa inyong trabaho. Nakikilala nyo po ba si Police Chief Inspector Ernesto Macasain?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino po siya?
Binitan police officer ng Davao City yun.
How about SPO4 Desiderio Dick Cloribel?
Yes, Your Honor. Kapwa police ko po.
How about SPO4 Fulgencio Pavo?
Yes, Your Honor.
SPO4 Bienvenido Laud?
Yes, Your Honor.
SPO3 Jeremias Baguhin?
Yes, Your Honor.
SPO2 Teodoro Pagidobon?
Yes, Your Honor.
NPO1 Jude Laresma?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you confirm with us na ito pong mga pulis na nakikilala nyo ay miyembro ng Anti-Crime Task Force ng Davao City Police during the time of Mayor Duterte?
Headed by Colonel Macasain, Your Honor. Yes.
I will be proceeding to the next batch of police officers, Mr. Buenaventura. Nakikilala niyo po ba si SPO3 Reynaldo Capute?
Yes, Your Honor.
How about SPO3 Simplicio Capute?
Simplicio.
Simplicio Capute.
Simplicio Capote, wala po.
SPO2 Antonio Balolong.
Yes, Your Honor.
SPO1 Jim Tan.
Yes, Your Honor.
SPO1 Ben Furog.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO3 June Cabalinan.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO2 Arnold De Chavez.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO2 Rezalino Aquino.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO2 Jovencio Humawan.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO2 Enrique June Ayaw.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO1 Tata Migueliano.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO1 Ronald Lau.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO1 J. Francia.
Yes, Your Honor.
PO1 Reynante Medina.
Yes, Your Honor.
Senior Inspector Junicio Abude Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bakit niyo po sila nakikilala?
Kapwa police po sila. Kapwa police ko po from Davao City.
And would you confirm that they are members of Heinous Crime Task Force?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was also during the time of Mayor Duterte?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ang sunod ko pong itatanong sa inyo, nakikilala niyo po ba si Edgar Matobato?
Nakilala ko lang po si Edgar Matobato sa Saman Island, Your Honor.
Paano niyo po siya nakilala?
One time, may nakita ko wearing sleeveless shirt. Siguro, sleeveless. Nakita ko, may tao kasi, siyempre, pulis ako, may nakita kong tao naka-sleeveless, naglakad, na naka-holster ng 45. At pumunta siya sa isang sasakyan na yung owner type Jeep. Mayroon niya siyang owner type Jeep. Pag lingon ko, mayroon siyang importin. Napatanong ako sa ibang tao, sino yan? Yan si Edgar Matobato, tauhan ni yung isang mayor ng Samals. Antalan. Mayor Antalan, Your Honor.
Nabanggit niyo po na nung una niyong nakita si Edgar Matubato ay siya'y may dalang armas?
Naka-hold sir, Your Honor. Walang cover, labas ang 45.
Labas ang 45?
Yes.
At may nabanggit pa po kayo isang armas?
M14.
M14.
Yes,
Nalalaman niyo po ba kung si Edgar Matubato ay kapwa niyo pulis?
No.
And
Sabi nila, hindi, ano yan, police, sabi ko. Kasi naka-react po ako dahil police ako na may nakita akong may armas. Ano yan? Bata, yan na, bata ni Mayor Antalan.
I understand that you were a police officer during the time,
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Buenaventura. Did you not bother to prompt
Sabi kasi
Edgar
nila,
Matubato?
sabi nila member ng CHPF,
Ano po yun?
Civilian Home Defense Force, Your Honor.
Saan po ba naka-attached itong civilian force? Civilian Police Force.
Home Defense Force. Army po yun sa Army.
Civilian Home Defense Force.
Yes, Your Honor.
Saan po ba attached itong Civilian Home Defense Force?
Sa military po, Army.
Sa military po.
Yes,
But you
Your Honor.
were saying kanina na siya ay bata, tao, ng mayor ng Samal. Tama po ba yun?
Tawan siya ng Mayor ng Samal.
Ano pong pangalan ng mayor ng Samal?
Mayor Antalan po.
Nalalampan niyo po ba kung ano itong Civilian Force Multiplier?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano po ba itong Civilian Force Multiplier?
Home Defense Force yun under the Army. Under the Army.
Pahuli kita ron dyan.
Nalalaman niyo din po ba na kayo ay kilala ni Edgar Matubato?
After na, Your Honor, after noon. Yung first time nakita ko siya, after noon, nakilala niya rin ako na isang pulis. Kaya,
Kilala po kayo ni Edgar Matubato bilang boss doon sa grupo ni Mayor Duterte. Do
No,
you
no.
confirm this?
hindi naman boss, Your Honor, security driver lang po ako.
Pero
Security driver.
would you confirm na kayo po ay kilala ni Edgar Matubato bilang
Stay ka ron.
isa sa mga tao ni
Isang
Mayor
pulis po,
Duterte?
isang pulis.
And would you confirm also that for quite some time itong si Edgar Matubato ay naging tao din ni Mayor Duterte?
Hindi po.
Not at any point in time.
Narinig ko yung sabi niya na naging security siya ni Mayor Duterte. Hindi po totoo yan. Hindi totoo. Na naging security siya ni Basti, nag-attend sa eskwelahan. Hindi po totoo yun. Hindi po totoo. Ang security ni Mayor Duterte, puro police.
Mr. Buenaventura, may mga babanggitin pa rin po akong pangalan dito.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nakikilala niyo po ba si Chris Lanay?
Chris Lanay. Hindi ko kilala, Your Honor.
Si Jopet?
Hindi, Your Honor.
Si Alvin Lao?
Police din yun, Your Honor.
Alias Boboy Maldito?
Hindi, Your Honor.
Alejandro Casas alias Toothpick?
Yung bata ni Juan yun, Your Honor, ni Las Cañas.
Si Boy Pondoyo alias Boy Chacha?
Sa City Hall po yun, Your Honor.
Alias Inchik?
Hindi ko kilala, Your Honor.
Jerry Troso?
City Hall po, Your Honor.
De La Serna Brothers?
Hindi ko
Sina
kilala.
Ayan, Yoyin, at Jongjong?
Hindi ko kilala, Your Honor.
Duhilag Brothers na may pangalang Roland, Yanyan, Alan, at Valentin.
Hindi ko kilala, Your Honor.
Ayon po sa ating mga source, Mr. Buenaventura, ang mga nabanggit pong pangalan ay mga miyembro ng Davao Death Squad. At ito po ay ayon kay Arturo Las Cañas. Ano pong masasabi niyo rito?
Yan po ang sabi ni Las Cañas, Your Honor. Dahil sila, nasa heinous crime sila. Ako, security driver lang po ako ni Mayor Duterte. Wala akong buwan doon. Isang unit sila doon sa police. Dito lang ako sa kay Mayor Duterte.
Do you confirm that the Davao Death Squad exists?
Yun sa newspaper, sa media.
Do you know Arturo Las Cañas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know Jose Basilio?
No, Your Honor.
Las Cañas, Basilio, and Matobato. All of them are members of DDS, Davao Death Squad. And they are identifying you bilang taong dinadaanan ng mga orders ni Mayor Duterte. Ano pong masasabi nyo dito?
Ganito po yun, Your Honor. Heinous crime headed by Colonel Makasait. Si Colonel Makasait, SPO4 lang ako. Dati SPO3 pa. SPO3 pa ako. Kung ako mag-order sa kanila, Your Honor, Colonel Makasait, pumigal police officer na Davao City, maniwala sa akin yun. Maniwala sa akin yun si Colonel Makasait.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Ako.
maniniwala sa iyo kasi ikaw ang palaging kasama ng mayor.
Pero hindi
Pero
ako...
naman talaga, di ba?
Yes,
galing ako sa
as
servisyo,
driver,
ako yan eh.
as driver security, Your Honor.
Hindi,
Driver
pero
security
kung-
lang po ako.
Pero kung may iutos yung mayor sa iyo, iisipin nung kakausapin mo, galing kay mayor talaga yan. Di ba?
Wala mang iutos sa akin na ganyan, Mayor.
Yun, iba
Ah,
yung sagot mo
sorry.
kanina.
Your Honor.
Hindi ko naman sinasabi kung may iniutos na iyo.
Yeah.
Pero yung sinabi mo na hindi pwedeng sumunod si Major Makasait sa iyo, susunod yun dahil ikaw ay driver bodyguard ni Mayor. Kalakaran yun, di ba? Maski naman sa servisyo, ganun eh.
Alangan sinuutusan niya.
Pares tayo galing sa servisyo, kaya alam ko yan. Kaya huwag mo sagutin si Honorable Luis Roland, ganun. Ang tamang sagot mo, hindi naman ako inutusan ni Mayor. Di ba? Mr. Buenaventura.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Buenaventura, sino po si Superman?
Hindi ko.
Hindi nyo rin po ba alam?
Yun ang call sign ni Mayor. Doon may radyo pa kami. Superman.
At least you confirm
Yes, Your Honor.
that Superman is Mayor Duterte.
Yun ang call sign niya sa radio.
Yes, and he is actually called Superman by DDS. Do you confirm that?
I do not know, ma'am.
Hmm.
I do not know. Sa amin lang yun, ma'am, sa radio. Sa radio, ma'am. Yan ang call sign niya sa radio. Sa amin yun.
Everybody in DDS call Mayor Duterte as Superman.
Sino pong DDS, ma'am?
Mr. Buenaventura,
Yes, Your Honor.
are you not confirming to the QUADCOM the existence of the Davao Death Squad?
Narinig ko lang yan, ma'am, dahil ang nagbigay ng pangalan yan is the media.
Did you watch the Senate investigation where the President appeared?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you watch him confirm that there is Davao Death Squad?
Siya po, Your Honor.
Yes,
Siya po ang
and
may sabi.
did you watch him confirm?
Yes.
Napanood niyo po ba yon?
Yes.
And napanood niyo din po bang sinabi niya na si Senator Bato ay kasama doon sa Davao Death Squad?
Narinig ko po, Your Honor.
And of course, you've heard already that Las Cañas is also confirming that there is Davao Death Squad.
Sa kanya, si Arturo Las Cañas po ang may sabi din sa kanya.
Yes, and even Matubato is confirming that there is Davao Death Squad.
Matubato. Yes, Your Honor.
And even Jose Basilio is confirming that there is Davao Death Squad.
Basilio, I don't know Basilio, Your Honor.
But of all the names that I have mentioned, I hope you realize that the President himself confirms the existence of the Davao Death Squad, and you are denying the Davao Death Squad.
I did not, Your Honor. Narinig ko lang, Your Honor. I am not answerable for President, Your Honor.
Yes, but you are with the President since 1988 to 2008, and I am inclined to believe that you know almost all the activities of the President. Tama po ba ako?
Hindi lahat.
And when the President said that he confirms that there is the Davao Death Squad, then it means that there is really the Davao Death Squad. And if you deny that, then somebody is telling a lie. If the President confirms this already, I do not understand why you keep on denying the Davao Death Squad.
Sabi ko, Your Honor, narinig ko lang. So, kung nagsabi ang Presidente, narinig ko sa kanya.
Before I end my interpellation, Mr. Chair, may I request the Secretariat to please flash the two pictures of the President with Mr. Buenaventura.
Hindi ka makakalusot.
Can we have the two pictures, Secretariat, please? This is only to bolster the fact that Mr. Buenaventura has been with the President since 1988 up to 2008. And for 20 years that he was working with President Duterte, then Mayor Duterte of Davao City. I wish to submit, Mr. Chair, that he is aware of all the activities then of Mayor Duterte. Secretariat? For my last question, Mr. Buenaventura, ang sabi niyo po kanina, mabait si Mayor Duterte. You confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung ibabalik ko po yung inyong nakaraan and if you will be given the choice, sino pong gusto nyo maging principal nyo ulit? Si Mayor Duterte po ba ulit?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's how you admire, idolize, respect, and care for the former president. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in a scale of 1 to 10, Mr. Buenaventura, if we will be assessing your loyalty and dedication to the former president, paano nyo po ba
I-rate.
regradean yung level ng loyalty at dedikasyon nyo sa former president?
10.
1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest.
10.
And with a grade of 10, you will not say anything that will harm the president, yes or no?
Sorry, ma'am.
And with a grade of 10, ibig sabihin, yun po ang pinakamataas na loyalty at dedication na ibinibigay nyo sa president, you will not say anything that will harm the president.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. To the extent that you will make misrepresentation to save the president, yes or no?
Sorry po. But what do you mean, Your Honor?
To the extent that you will be making misrepresentation to save the former president. Tama po ba yun? Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
With that, Mr. Chair, then I wish to believe that the representations that he is giving
Mr.
to us
Chairman.
right now,
Can you kindly
not
translate that to
entirely
Tagalog? Para...
Mr. Buenaventura, kanina po tinanong ko
Sorry, ma'am.
kayo
Sorry, Your Honor.
kung atin pong graduhan ang inyong loyalty at dedication sa inyong naging principal for a period of 20 years. 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest.
10 po.
Ganun po kataas ang loyalty at dedikasyon nyo sa dating presidente. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At dahil sa napakataas ng inyong loyalty at dedikasyon sa kanya, hindi po kayo magsasabi ng kahit na anong ikakapahamak niya. Tama po ba o mali?
Tama po.
At kung kailangan nyo pong magsinungaling, magsisinungaling kayo, mailigtas nyo lamang siya.
Hindi po.
Tama po o mali?
Hindi po.
Because you are loyal and dedicated to the former president.
Wala
At
naman.
kung kailangan nyo pong magsinungaling to save the former president, gagawin nyo rin pong magsinungaling. Tama po o mali?
Tama po.
Tama.
Tama.
Because you graded your loyalty and dedication by 10. At kung kailangan nyo pong ialay ang buhay nyo, may
Bumubulis
ligtas
si
lamang ang
Buenaventura.
dating Pangulo, gagawin nyo din po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
See? Kung kaya nyo pong ialay ang buhay nyo, mailigtas ang dating Pangulo. The more reason na kaya nyong magsinungaling, mailigtas lang ang dating Pangulo. Can we please flash the pictures? Next picture, please. The two old pictures. There. Maaari niyo po bang ituro sa amin dyan? Sino po ba kayo dyan?
Yung tindig po, nakaputi.
Yun pong nakatayong nakaputi.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino po yung may bilog doon sa gitna?
Si dating presidente po.
At sino naman po yung mga kasama ninyo sa picture?
Taga-media po.
Taga-media. Saan po ba kuha itong letradong ito?
Sa sa Tuhil, yung sa Eden Bayabas po, hindi pa yun, wala pa yung,
Mga anong taon po ba kuha itong litratong ito?
hindi ko lang maalala. Hindi ko lang maalala, Your Honor.
Approximate year lang po. Perhaps you can base it on the looks of the former president. Batang-bata pa po siya dito. If you started in 1988,
Early 90s, Your Honor.
early 90s, so mayor na po si President Duterte during that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
As early as then, gano'n na po kayo ka-close dito sa ating dating Pangulo, no? Kasi kahit mga media ang kasama, kayo pa rin ang kasama niya. Tama po ba?
Ako kasi ang security driver, Your
Is
Honor.
Turil outside Davao City?
Within Davao
Within
City.
Davao City. Can you flash the next picture, please? Sino po kayo dito, Mr. Buenaventura?
Wala po ako dyan, ma'am.
Wala po kayo. Sino po yung may bilog na naka-shades?
Hindi po ako yan, ma'am.
Sino nga po? Yung may bilog na naka-shades, if you can identify him. Nakikilala niyo po ba siya?
Hindi po, hindi po.
I think nakikilala ko po siya. He's the former president, tama po ba?
Ayun yung isa, ma'am. Yung dalawa kasi nakabilog, ma'am. Yung isa, ma'am, hindi ko kilala. Itong isa, ma'am, kilala ko.
He's the former president. At ito po nasa bandang kaliwa, sino po ba yon?
Hindi ko kilala yan, ma'am.
Hindi niyo po nakikilala, yun pong nasa likod.
Hindi po.
Hindi niyo rin po kilala. But at least the first picture, Mr. Chair, shows that as early as 1990s, Mr. Buenaventura is already with the President and having spent 10 years of his police career with the President during the time as mayor of Davao City, I wish to believe that he has given so much loyalty and dedication to the President as proven by his recent answers. Ang sabi po niya, kung kailangan niyang ialay ang buhay niya to save the President, gagawin niya. At kung kailangan niyang magsinungaling to save the President, magsisinungaling siya. I submit, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. The next to interpolate is Congressman Raul Manuel. So if he's not here, we move on to the next interpolator. Congressman Johnny Pimentel. You have 10 minutes.
Mr. Chair, my interpolation will be focusing on the Halili assassination. So if there are some of my colleagues that would like to interpolate with Mr. Buenaventura, I'll be giving my time so that there will be continuity of the interpolations, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Pimentel. So we move on to the next interpolator. Congresswoman Mika Sonsing. You have 10 minutes. After this, if the video of Senator De Lima is ready, we can show it after Congresswoman Mika Sonsing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, my questions are also directed to Mr. Sonny Buenaventura. Mr. Sonny, gusto ko lang pong susugan yung ilang mga binanggit niyo po kay Congresswoman Jinky. Yung una po ay kinumpirma niyo po na ang tawag po kay former President Duterte ay Superman. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sinabi niyo po kanina na tawag po yun sa kanya bilang call sign. Pero yun din po ba ang tawag sa kanya ng mga kapulisan at yung iba niyo pong mga katrabaho?
Hindi ba, Your Honor? Sa radio lang po namin, Your Honor. Call sign niya sa radio.
Bakit po Superman yung tawag po kay Presidente Duterte?
Kami lang na ko, Your Honor. Parang
Sa inyo pong magkakasama, dahil napakatagal po, ilang dekada, mula po 1988 hanggang 2008, ay
1988.
Opo, 2 dekada po nakasama niyo si Presidente Duterte. Meron po kasing mga linggo, kung alam niyo po yun, di ba sa mga kapulisan, meron kayong mga salita na nakakasanayan niyo na sinasabi sa isa't isa. Maaari niyo po bang kaming paliwanagan kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng salitang labyog?
Labyog? Takot?
Opo. meron po ba mas labyog itapon po saan? Ano po ang
Hindi ko
itatapon at
hindi ko
saan
masyadong
itatapon?
buwan yung labyubang parang gano'n.
Opo, kasi po, ayon po sa aming sources, ang labyog po ay to kill or dump a dead body ng isang biktima.
Itapon.
Hindi ko po alam.
Maaari niyo po ba sabihin sa amin yung ibig sabihin ng manho na?
Manho?
Manho.
Manho?
Mali po ba yung pronunciation ko? Manho na.
Hindi ko alam yun. Your Honor.
Opo, binanggit po ito kasi ni Mr. Las Cañas sa kanyang affidavit na ang manho na ay ibig sabihin napatay na o tapos na yung pag-dispatch siya sa isang katawan. Familiar po ba kayo dito sa salitang ito? Manho na at labyog?
Hindi po. Your Honor.
Okay po. Mr. Buenaventura, tinanong po ito ni Congresswoman Jinky kanina, kilala niyo po ba si SPO4 Ben Laud?
Yes, Your Honor.
Opo. Sige po. Dahil po kinumpirma niyo po iyon, babalik po ako dun sa inyong opening statement kanina, kung saan sinasabi niyo po na pagkatapos po ng December 2008, kayo po ay nagretiro na. Tama po ba? Nagretiro na po kayo sa kapulisan,
Yes,
December
2008, Your Honor.
2008.
Yeah.
At uulitin ko lang po, kukumpirmahin ko lang po, ang sinabi niyo sa opening statement ninyo, na pagkatapos po ng taong 2008 ay tumigil na po kayo na maglingkod bilang driver bodyguard ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Tama po ba?
Yan po totoo. Yan po ang totoo, Your Honor.
Meron po ba kayong kahit anong koneksyon sa kanya pagkatapos ng taong 2008?
Nang campaign period, wala po ako. Nung naging presidente siya, Your Honor, wala po ako. Hindi ako. Once na ako nakapunta ng Malacanang, yung pasyal lang, nagpasyal with my family. Ganun lang po.
So, ibig sabihin po, mula taong 2009 hanggang kasalukuyan ay hindi yun na po siya nakakasama, hindi yun na po siya nakikita.
Hindi na po.
Sige po. Under oath po kayo,
Yes, Your
Mr. Buenaventura. Meron po kasi akong dalawang babanggitin na nabanggit po ni Mr. Las Cañas sa kanyang affidavit na dalawang pagkakataon na kayo po ay nadawit sa isang pangyayari na nangyari pagkatapos ng taong 2008. Uunahin ko po yung nabanggit sa paragraph 228 ng Las Cañas affidavit. Tinatawag po ito na death of a hired woman allegedly due to a freak accident involving Mayor RRD. Ito po ay, ang timeline po nito ay pagkatapos ng taong 2008. Baka po hindi nyo nabasa kayo, papaliwanag ko po ang laman ito. Nakalagay po dito ayon kay Mr. Las Cañas na noong taong 2009, noong nagsisimula po yung investigasyon nila Senator De Lima ng CHR patungkol po sa existence ng DDS, tumawag po kayo kay Mr. Las Cañas. Inuutusan po siya na imbes na kayo ay sunduin niya po ang dalawang kababaihan at dalhin mula po sa ET KTV Music Bar na pagmamay-ari ni Mr. Charlie Tan para dalhin po sa tinatawag na Superman's Obrero Safe House. Ito po ay naganap ng taong 2009. Kayo po ang tumawag kay Mr. Las Cañas para po dalhin itong dalawang kababaihan na ito dito po sa Superman's Obrero Safe House. At sinabi niyo po na si Superman ay si dating Pangulong Duterte. So masasabi po ba natin na itong Superman's Obrero Safe House na ito ay safe house ni dating Pangulong Duterte?
Hindi po totoo yun, ma'am. Hindi ko tinawagan si Las Cañas para magkuha ng babae, dalawang babae. Ma'am, honest, hindi ko talaga tinawagan si Las Cañas.
Hindi lang po ito isang beses nangyari.
No.
Base po sa kanyang affidavit, ito pong lihim na pagdala ng mga babae sa Superman's Obrero Safe House ay ilang beses nyo pong inulit na inutos sa kanya at sa ibang pagkakataon pa po, kayo pa yung nag-aabot ng 10,000 pesos sa kanya sa tuwing natatapos nyo po yung delivery.
No, Hindi talaga yan totoo, ma'am. Hindi.
Daw sinigong man.
Your Honor, hindi talaga totoo yan. Hindi nyo lang kilala si Las Cañas. Hindi nyo lang kilala si Las Cañas.
Ito po ay yung unang pagkakataon na sinasabi ko, dalawa lamang po kayo. Sasabihin ko po, babanggitin ko yung dalawang pagkakataon na nasa subheader po sa affidavit na the massacre of subdivision construction workers. Ang timeline po ay taong 2010 hanggang 2013. Muli pagkatapos po ng December 2008. Dito po, sinasabi po ni Las Cañas na kayo po ay tumawag sa kanya, inutusan po na pumunta kayo sa Laud Quarry para po kitain si Ben Laud. At doon po ay naghihintay si Mr. Sammy Uy at si Madam X.
Hindi totoo yan, ma'am. Your Honor, hindi talaga totoo yan. May tanong ko lang, ma'am. Apinabot pa yan ni Las Cañas.
Opo.
Marami kasi siya
Point
kapitapit,
of order,
Your Honor.
Mr. Chair. Point of order. Are we allowing the guest to ask the member a question? No, based on the rules, we are not allowing any guest to ask questions to the members
Please
of the
refrain
committee.
from asking questions to the members.
Sorry, Your Honor. Sorry,
Just
Your Honor.
answer the questions.
Sorry,
being
Your
asked.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Congressman Adyong. Ito po, sasabihin ko po yung nilalaman nito kasi medyo mabigat po yung akusasyon sa inyo at yung level po ng inyong pagkakadawit. Inutusan niyo po siya na pumunta sa Laud Quarry para mag-coordinate kay Ben Laud para po sa isang importanteng operasyon. Nandun si Mr. Sammy Uy at ang isang Madam X. At doon po ay natagpuan ni Las Cañas na meron pong 6 hanggang 7 na bangkay ng mga construction workers na nineutralize ng grupo ni Ben Laud. At pinagalitan nyo pa daw po, kayo pa mismo, nung nag-report sa inyo ni Las Cañas na na-neutralize na o patay na yung mga bangkay at nasaksihan ni Mr. Sammy Uy at ni Madam X ang pagkakapatay sa mga taong ito, na nagalit pa daw po kayo kay Las Cañas na bakit hinayaan niya na makita ni Sammy Uy at ni Madam X yun. So kung wala po kayong involvement doon po sa grupo, at kung hindi po mataas yung inyong kinatatayuan doon po sa grupo at hindi po kayo involved dito sa grupo na ito, bakit po sa inyo magre-report si Las Cañas?
Hindi siya nag-report sa akin, Your Honor. Hindi siya nag-report. Hindi kami nagkita sa Laud Quarry. Yung sinabi niyo, wala talaga yun, Your Honor. Yung 7 patay, sinabi niya na pumunta ako, wala yan, Your Honor. Wala talaga yan. Hindi totoo yan.
Pahala kayo dyan.
Mr. Chair, it's the word of Mr. Sonny Buenaventura against the affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas.
Yes, Your
But
Honor.
for the record, Mr. Chair, I am contending the statement of Mr. Las Cañas, Mr. Buenaventura, that he has had no affiliation with President Duterte after year 2000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi po, sinasabi po dito na kayo pa, dinala niyo po, inutusan niyo po si Mr. Las Cañas na dalhin si Mr. Sammy Uy at si Madam X doon po sa isang restaurant kung saan naghihintay po ikaw at si dating Pangulong Duterte sa kanila pagkatapos po ng operasyon. Taong 2010 hanggang 2013 po ito naganap, Mr. Sonny Buenaventura.
Hindi po totoo yan, Your Honor. Hindi totoo yan.
Mr. Chair, babalikan ko lang po yung sinabi ni Congresswoman Jinky na handa po si Mr. Sonny Buenaventura na tumindig para protektahan ni si dating Presidente Duterte. Pero for the record, Mr. Chair, I don't believe that Mr. Sonny Buenaventura is no longer affiliated or connected to former President Duterte after December 2008. Mr. Chair, may I proceed to the next set of questions? Babalikan ko po, familiar po ba kayo doon sa quarry ni SPO4 Ben Laud?
Yes, Your Honor. Property po ni Ben Laud yun.
Opo. Alam niyo po ba kung gaano kalaki itong property na ito? At saan po yung lokasyon nito?
Hindi po yun. Sa Maa yun.
Mahalaga po ito. Mr. Sonny Buenaventura, nakapunta na po ba kayo sa Laod Quarry?
Firing range po, Your Honor. Minsan mag-firing kami doon.
So ito, may firing range po sa
Yes,
Laod Quarry?
yes, Your Honor.
Kasi po, ang pagkakalarawan po ng Laod Quarry ay ito po ay mass grave. So, meron pong firing range sa
Yes.
gitna po ng mga batuhan at mga lupa.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, sinasabi niyo po na pamilyar kayo sa Laod Quarry. Dahil
Na-
nakakapag-firing po kayo eh. Ibig sabihin,
Sa firing area, Your Honor. Sa firing area.
bakit meron po bang ibang area ang Laod Quarry bukod sa firing
Ba rin
area?
yung firing area, Your Honor? Yun doon, hindi ko na alam.
Ano po yung nandoon? So, malawak. Kasi pag
Hindi
nag-firing
ko alam,
ka,
pero
hindi mo makikita yung dulo eh.
hindi ko alam,
hektar-
hindi ko alam, Your Honor, kung gaano kalaki.
Ano po yung taya nyo sa laki noong Laod Quarry base po sa nakikita nyo pag
Hindi
kayo
ko
ay
alam, Your
nagpa-firing?
Honor.
2 hektarya po ba? Kasi kung less than 5 hectares yan, kapag tinignan mo yan mula saan kayo nagpa-firing, kita mo yung dulo niyan.
Hindi
So
ko pa alam,
malaki po
Your
yun.
Honor. Hindi ko pa alam, Your Honor.
SPO4 Buenaventura, kayo po ay parte ng kapulisan. Malunong po kayo mag-estimate ng laki ng isang lugar. Ilan pong hektarya ang tinataya nyo na sukat ng Laod Quarry?
Wala siguro yan ma-breeding na ano ay.
Ilang
Hindi ko-
hektarya po?
Hindi ko kasi, pagdating lang po namin yung, doon lang kasi kami mag-stay sa firing range. Hindi ko itingnan yung anong lawak ng area.
Estimate lang gani.
Pagdating namin doon, part firing. Yun lang po.
Higit po sa 10
Kasi
hektarya?
parang kuwan kasi, parang mahili, maraming yung mga tanim na kahoy, gano'n.
So may mga parte po na mahirap makita sa maraming pwedeng pagtaguan, maraming pwedeng paghukayan. Ganun po ba ang inyong pagkakalarawan sa Laod Quarry?
Hindi po.
Kasabi niyo lang po,
Ano,
maraming taguan, maraming hill siya.
Hili lang po. Hindi ako nagsabi na taguan, Your Honor. Wala akong sinabing taguan.
Ang sinasabi
Wala
ko
akong
po,
sinabi na may hukayan.
kakawayan, kung kakawayan siya, di ba?
Kahoy lang po, kahoy.
O, kakawayan. Tama ba Tagalog ko? Kakawayan ay
Kakahuyan.
kagubatan ko, di ba? O, kakawayan siya. Kawayan.
Kahoyan yung mga kahoyan.
Kawayanan. Tapos hilly siya. So, ibig sabihin po, pwedeng bungkalin kasi marami pong hills. At marami pong pwedeng taguan dahil maraming kawayan.
Bungkalin Your Honor, dahil quarry po yun, Your Honor, quarry, kinakuha yung lupa.
So, masasabi niyo po ba na posible na totoo yung mga sinasabi na yun ay mass grave site? Dahil maraming pwedeng bungkalin, maraming pwedeng hukayin.
No, hindi ko po alam yun, Your Honor. Anong site yun, or hindi ko po alam.
Mr. Chair, for the record, Mr. Buenaventura has been to Laod Quarry, is familiar with the size and the landscape of Laod Quarry.
Firing range, Your Honor, firing range.
Pero sinabi niyo na po kanina na quarry siya, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Ang pinapuntahan namin doon, Your Honor, is the firing range.
Opo, pero ang sinasabi ko, nakapunta na kayo sa
Yes,
Laod
Your Honor, sa
Quarry.
firing range.
Pero nakapunta pa rin kayo sa Laod Quarry dahil nasa
Nandiyan yung firing
nasa
range sa
loob ng
quarry.
quarry yung firing range. Mr. Chair, medyo hindi na kailangan pagdebatihan tong punto na to. Pero ang mahalaga po, nakapunta na po sa Laod Quarry
Yes,
si
Your Honor.
Mr. Buenaventura.
Firing range, Your Honor.
Alam niya ang
firing range.
itsura at laki ng Laod Quarry na may laman na firing range sa loob. Okay na po? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sunod po, Mr. Chair, tatanungin ko lang po, kasi po sinabi po ni Colonel Garma na meron pong reward system na meron pong reward system
Daw si Digong
para
din
po
po si
doon
Buenaventura.
sa operation sa national na level. Alam niyo po yung testamento niya na yun, di ba? Testimonya niya.
Sa affidavit niya po, Your Honor.
Okay, familiar po. At sinabi din po ni Colonel Garma na galing po sa Davao template yung kanila pong in-implement sa national na level.
Hindi ko po alam, Your Honor. National na yun, Your Honor.
Pero yun po yung sinabi niya sa kanyang affidavit. At sinabi po niya na binase po nila ito sa Davao template kung saan may reward. Kaya po ito, tatanungin ko po sa inyo na sa inyo pong eksperyensya, nung kayo po ay parte ng kapulisan sa Davao Kayo po, kinukumpirma niyo po ba na merong Davao template na meron pong reward system
Wala po yun.
para po sa mga kapulisan?
Hindi ko po yan alam, Your Honor.
Sinasabi po kasi na sa reward system na ito, nung alkalde si former President Digong, nakakatanggap po ng mga reward ang kapulisan sa bawat pagpatay. Alam niyo po ba itong, familiar po ba kayo dito?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Mr. Buenaventura, may bangko po ba kayo noong kapanahunan na kayo po ay pulis sa Davao?
Sorry po.
Meron po ba kayong bank account noong
Yes,
panahon
Your
po
Honor.
na kayo ay pulis? At nung kayo po ay naging bodyguard ni former President Duterte?
Yes, Your Honor.
Willing po ba kayo, Mr. Buenaventura, na mag-waive ng bank secrecy para po ma-verify po natin yung laman po na inyong bank accounts?
Your Honor, yung bangko ko po, pampapilya lang yun. Pag may sahod ako, may mailagay ako. Walang ibang konton, walang ibang transaction. Wala ibang transaction.
Willing ka gani.
Para lang yun sa pamilya ko.
Pero Mr. Buenaventura, kung wala po kayong tinatago, kung malinis po yung mga pasok at labas ng pera at yung mga transaksyon doon ay para lamang sa inyong pamilya, ulitin ko po ang inyong tanong, kung wala po kayong tinatago, willing po ba kayo na i-waive ang bank secrecy para po sa
Pampamilya ko
inyong
lang po
mga
yun, Your Honor, pampamilya.
Mr. Buenaventura,
Hindi ako
ito
na-involved
po
sa ibang
ay
bagay
yes
na may
or no
pera.
Mr.
question.
Chairman,
Sorry po.
kung nakabisi ka, Sani,
Hindi po. Hindi, Your Honor.
hintay mo muna na-recognize ka.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Si Paduano na naman kalaban
Sorry po,
mo.
Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Ulitin ko po, napakasimple po ng tanong ko, Mr. Buenaventura. Oo o hindi lang po ang sagot ninyo sa aking tanong. Kung wala po kayong tinatago sa inyong mga bank accounts, willing po ba kayo na i-waive ang bank secrecy para sa inyong bank accounts?
Sa sinasabi ko po, wala akong ibang transaction
Yes or
sa
no
bangko
lang.
ko. Pampamilya ko lang po yun. Pampamilya.
Mr. Buenaventura,
Mr. Chairman, can I be recognized?
With the indulgence of Congresswoman Sonsing,
yes, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Paduano,
Mr. Chairman, the resource person is not answering the question directly raised by Donald Bonsanching. Please answer directly the question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes or no lang naman yun eh. Are you willing to waive?
No, Your Honor.
O yun.
okay.
Sorry,
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. Please proceed, Congresswoman, and please wrap up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. In that case, Mr. Chair, mapapaisip po ang ating komite, bakit po ayaw mag-waive ng bank secrecy si Mr. Buenaventura? Meron po ba siyang itinatagong yaman sa kanyang bank account? Madami po ba siyang nakuha mula sa sinasabing reward system? Meron po ba siyang mga nakuha na pera na labas sa kanyang sahod nung siya ay pulis? Yan po yung mga tanong na paulit-ulit po namin tatanungin, Mr. Buenaventura, at ang tanging paraan po para mapabulaanan nyo yung aming iniisip dito sa komite na meron kayong tinatago ay sa pamamagitan ng pag-waive ng inyong bank secrecy.
Ganito po, Your Honor. Yung pera ko sa bangko ngayon, 4,000 plus, doon ko kinakuha yung parang sa damot ko, lagyan ko, kuha ako. Para 4,000 plus lang yun, Your Honor. Meron ako dyan sa Upslide, 200,000 sa Upslide.
Bank secrecy
Yung
law.
sa bangko ko sa PNB, 4,000 plus lang yun, Your Honor. 4,000 plus. Yung pera ko talaga.
Mr. Chair, kung ang total po ng pera ni Mr. Sonny Buenaventura ay 12,000 pesos, siguro naman po okay lang na i-waive nyo yung bank secrecy.
Yun yung passbook ko. Pakita ko sa iyo yung passbook ko, Your Honor.
Willing po ba kayo na gawin yan ngayon, Mr. Buenaventura?
Nasa Davao po.
Mr. Chair, for the record, Mr. Buenaventura has refused to waive the bank secrecy for this committee, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, 3 quick questions lang po before I end. Mr. Buenaventura, kilala niyo po ba si Mr. Michael Yang?
May-ari po ng DCLA, Your Honor.
Kasi, nakita niyo po ba kasi sa 2 dekada po na kayo ay magkasama ni former President Duterte, nakita niyo po ba silang magkasama?
Hindi na, Your Honor. Hindi ako nakasama kahit sa Malacanang, sa Manila. Hindi na po ako nakasama, Your Honor.
Base po mismo sa testamento ni Pangulong former President Duterte, mula pa po 1990s ay kaibigan niya na po si Mr. Michael Yang. At kayo po ay security and driver bodyguard niya na mula po 1988 hanggang 2008. Kung napakalapit na kaibigan niya po si Mr. Michael Yang, siguro naman po kahit isang beses nakita niyo na po silang magkasama.
Nung sa Davao po, yung nag-duty pa po kay Mayor Duterte, hindi ko nakita, Your Honor. Nagkasama sila.
Sa loob po ng 2 dekada, hindi niyo po nakita kasama ni Pangulong Duterte yung isa sa kanyang pinakamatalik na kaibigan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, mas nakikita ko po na
Hindi ko mabasa ang mga comment
si
nyo.
Mr. Sonny Buenaventura, kahit yung napakasimpleng tanong na nakita niya ba
Bibili na lang ako ng cellphone bago.
si Mr. Michael Yang. Sa dami ng pagkakataon na magkasama po kayo ng 2 dekada, hindi niyo siya nakita. Mas iniisip ko po kayo ngayon na nagsisinungaling kayo. Pangalawang tanong po, kilala niyo po ba si Mr. Sammy Uy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sa anong paraan po kayo magkakilala?
Kaibigan siya masyado matalik na kaibigan ni Don Mayor Duterte, Your Honor.
Kayo po, meron po ba kayong personal na relasyon ni Mr. Sammy Uy?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala pong pagkakataon na kayo po ay nagkausap, nagkasama, na kayo lamang.
Wala, Your Honor. Minsan kung magpunta siya kay Mayor, mag-usap lang kami, Your Honor. Pero yung nagsama kami kahit sa wala, Your Honor.
Kasi po, tulad po ng binasa ko kanina, yung isa po sa mga insidente na sinasabing massacre of the massacre of subdivision construction workers, ilang beses po sa affidavit ni Mr. Las Cañas na nagdikit po yung pangalan ninyo at ni Mr. Sammy Uy sa iba't ibang mga pagkakataon.
Your Honor, sinabi ko, hindi talaga yung totoo na tinawagan ko siya para magpunta sa Laod Quarry. Hindi totoo yan, Your Honor. Hindi totoo.
Okay. Isang tanong lang po. Sinasabi po kasi na si Sammy Uy ang dahilan kung bakit magkakilala si Michael Yang at si dating Pangulong Duterte. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba yon base sa inyong kaalaman?
Sa akin yun, yung up to 2008, hindi ko talaga, siguro after that year, Your Honor, siguro.
Pero po, Mr. Buenaventura, 1990s pa po nagkakilala si Pangulong Duterte at si Mr. Michael Yang. Kaya kung nangyari po yung pagkakilala na yun,
1990s, hindi wala pa, Your Honor, wala pa yung DCLA, 1990s.
pero mismo si Pangulong Duterte na po ang nagsabi na 1990s niya pa malapit na kaibigan si Michael Yang. So sinasabi niyo po ba na nagsisinungaling si Pangulong Duterte? Okay. Ito po siguro, panghuli na talaga, Mr. Chair. Kilala niyo rin po ba si Mr. Charlie Tan?
Hindi, Your Honor.
Hindi niyo po siya nakita kailanman nakasama po ni Pangulong former President Duterte?
Hindi po.
At hindi niyo din po siya kailanman nakita na kasama ni Congressman Pulong Duterte?
Hindi po.
Sige po. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair. Yun po yung aking mga katanungan para po kay Mr. Sonny Buenaventura. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Buenaventura.
Tapos ang kay Paduano.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, I just wanted to...
Is that an interjection?
No, just quick.
Okay.
Very quickly. I just wanted to ask, Mr. Chair, there's a gentleman wearing a white barong behind Mr. Buenaventura. Kanina po nag-uusap sila. Hindi ko po kilala kung sino po yung lalaki.
He is the lawyer of
He's the lawyer.
Mr.
Kayo po ang
Buenaventura.
abogado ni Mr. Buenaventura.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I already entered my appearance earlier.
And your Mr. Buenaventura employed your service desk.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kasi kung gano'n lang yung pera na kinikita ni Mr. Buenaventura, yung ba pro bono to o...
Presyong kaibigan, Mr. Chair.
Ha?
Presyong kaibigan po.
Siya po ang nagbabayad sa inyo, wala iba?
Yes.
I just wanted to ask that, Mr. Thank you very much. I just wanted to
Mr. Chair,
clarify.
Thank you, Congressman Aguiles Suarez.
Chair.
Congressman Abante, you're recognized.
Mr. Buenaventura, hindi niyo kilala si Las Cañas?
Kilala ko po.
Kilala niyo? Kailan niyo nakilala?
Kapwa pulis po kami.
Ah,
Kapwa pulis po kami, Your Honor.
si Michael Yang, hindi niyo kilala?
Kilala ko po siya pero hindi kami kaibigan, hindi kami nagsama. May-ari ng DCLA.
Kanina sinabi niyo, hindi niyo kilala eh.
Sinabi ko po DCLA, may-ari ng DCLA.
So, nakilala niyo?
Kilala ko po siya, may-ari ng DCLA, Your Honor.
Okay. Saan kayo nag-meet? Saan niyo na-meet si Mr. Michael Yang?
Hindi kami nag-meet, Your Honor.
Anong ibig sabihin nag-meet? Saan kayo, saan mo siya nakita? Yun.
Hindi ko man nakita, narinig ko lang ang may-ari ng DCLA is Michael Yang.
Narinig mo?
O kaibigan ni, lately, kaibigan na ni...
Teka, nakakalito eh. Akala ko pa kilala mo si Michael Yang.
May-ari po ng DCLA.
May-ari ng...
DCLA po.
Sinong nagsabi sa'yo?
Abal, ano yung mall po ng Davao City, Your Honor?
Pexman?
Sorry po?
Pexman?
Mall.
Alam ko naman.
Marami kasi mall. May Gaisano Mall, Gaisano.
Alam ko naman magsisinungaling ka eh. Kaya sabi ko, mamatay man yung pusa nyo.
Hindi naman totoo po, Your Honor.
Kaya nga eh, nagkakabiroan na tayo dito eh. Di ba yung boss mo eh, mahilig magbiro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo. Ayan. Ito, tanongin kita. May tiwala ba sa'yo ang boss mo? May tiwala ba sa'yo?
Iwan ko, Your Honor, sa pagkakilala niya sa akin.
Hindi, tinatanong kita, ikaw mismo, naniniwala ka bang may tiwala sa'yo ang former president?
Hindi ko masabi kung anong kuha niya, Your Honor. Dahil kasi, ganito kasi, Your Honor, mayor siya, naging presidente. Hindi kasi ako
And ang tanong ko, hindi mo ako sinasagot eh. Ang tanong ko, naniniwala ka bang may tiwala sa'yo ang former president?
Hindi ko masabi kasi, Your Honor, yung...
Okay, kung hindi ka naniniwalang may tiwala sa'yo, dispensable ka. Tama ba ako? Mali. Kung hindi ka naniniwala na may tiwala sa'yo ang former president, dispensable ka. Pwede kang tirahin. Pwede kang tanggalin. Tama ako mali?
Kaya nga, hindi na ako...
Yun. Ibig sabihin, nagsasabi ka ng totoo ngayon, hindi mo alam kung may tiwala sa iyo ang dating Pangulo sapagkat alam mo na kapag inayawan ka na, tapos ka. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun. Yun ang sinasabi ko. Hindi na ako mag-perfect man. Sabi ka ng totoo ngayon eh. Di ba? May tiwala ka ba sa dating Pangulo? May tiwala ka sa kanya?
Yes, Your Honor.
Buo ang tiwala mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
From 1 to 10, gano'ng kalaki ang tiwala mo?
10 po, Your Honor.
10. Pero ikaw, hindi ka naniniwalang may tiwala siya sa'yo.
Hindi ko kasi alam kung ano nasa
Ibig sabihin, ganito yan. Hindi ka naniniwalang may tiwala ka sa Pangulo sapagkat alam mo na ang iyong boss ay may ginagawang hindi maganda. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Tama ako mali?
Tama, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ay.
Alam ko.
Thank you.
Sayang hindi ako makabasa ng
Can we
comment
show
nyo.
the video first of...
Kasi wala akong hindi ko dala yung isang cellphone ko gamit ni Nini.
For the last two interpelators, can we show the video that was not shown earlier because we had technical problems? Secretariat, okay na ba yung ating video?
I was told it's already okay. The audio is okay.
Okay, sige. Please play the video.
Good day to everyone. I am Arturo Las Cañas, a retired policeman of the Davao City Police Office, Philippines. I was born in Davao City. I am making this video recording affix my signature, Arturo das Cañas. I am the author of this sworn statement, composed of 186 pages and 295 paragraphs. It is my own free will in accord. Walang nagtuturo sa akin, walang nagtatakot sa akin. It is my own free will. It is this sworn statement is my own making, which has the following conclusion. Based on my personal knowledge and experience inside the DUTERTE death squad, or Davao death squad, for more than 20 years as police intelligence operative and investigator for 34 years in 8 months, the following are my conclusion. A. I say and declare honestly and truthfully that the person of Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte and his son, Paulo Colon Duterte, are directly involved with the illegal drug trade in Davao City. Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte is in partnership with Michael Yang in Sammy Hoy, and Colon Duterte in partnership with Charlie Tan. Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte also had police encounters in the person of Bato, former Colonel, Police Colonel David Bato de la Rosa, and Wilkins Villanueva in the illegal drug trade. One, Mr. Michael Yang is a Chinese national with business in Davao City, the DCLA, around the 90s. Based on my enumeration of cases above, Michael Yang is a drug lord in the boss of Alan C., the manager of the Shabu laboratory that was raided by PDR in December 31, 2004. In 2012, the Shabu laboratory workers inside the Green Heights subdivision were also monitored to be reported to Michael Yang's DCLE office in Davao City, to Mr. Sammy Hoy as an import-export business in Davao City. He also owns a big carpet arena in Matina, Davao City. Mr. Sammy Hoy is Mr. Michael Yang's patron friend in Davao City. I know it through Mr. Michael Yang's customs broker, Mr. Randy Guzman, my friend and associate in smuggling activities in the port of Davao in year 2012. Randy Guzman was Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte's deputy mayor of the Maranao tribe in Davao City. Also, in the massacre of subdivision construction workers I discussed above, Samuel was a participant in the same murders deep in Laod Quarry. The DDS group of the DUTERTE death squad group, on orders of Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte, erased the workers because they informed the police, which is our group, about the existence of the Shabu laboratory in Green Heights subdivision which was owned by Michael Young. 3. Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Samuel and Michael Young are friends and close to each other. I saw them personally together in hotels in Davao City in several occasions. Mr. Sammy Roy is a long-time bosom friend of Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte in Davao City. It is a public knowledge and my personal knowledge as well. Number 4, Mr. Charlie Tan is a Chinese national doing karaoke bar business, which is the ETV bar in Davao City. That's around the last quarter of the 90s. He is very close to my father and son, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte and Paulo Pulong Duterte. I met him twice personally in his ETV bar with Pulong Duterte twice, and once at Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte's residence in Central Park Subdivision, Davao City. As mentioned above, Charlie Tan, in partnership with Pulong Duterte, imported shabu from the port of Davao, using Randy Osman as broker and Mr. Mark Whittle. Based on my personal knowledge, Charlie Tan and Michael Young are also best of friends. Letter B, based on my personal knowledge, Pulong Duterte is also involved in rice smuggling in partnership with Davidson Bangayan, alias David Tan. He is a smuggling financier of rice and sugar in the port of Davao, year 2011 to 2014. I have no personal knowledge after 2014. Especially during the time of Customs Collector Attorney Bantoy, Stewart Santiago, and Mark Rico, from or Davidson Bangayan, alias David Tan. Letter C, to my knowledge, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte and deceased former Osamis City Mayor Aldong Paruino are friends, which blossomed into an unholy alliance, as stated above. This led to the abduction, killing, and beheadings of 2 innocent persons. Both men had common evil deeds in life. Both killed people, both possessed guns, guns, and all. Interestingly, both men were friends and protectors of Mr. Michael Young, the drug lord. Both were mobsters disguised as public servants. I personally witnessed when Police Major Ernesto Macasahe introduced Aldong Paruino to Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte during a dinner in a Chinese restaurant in the vicinity of Victoria Plaza Mall in Davao City. It was several months after the abduction of the entire Muslim family, the Patasaha family of General Santos City. That dinner meeting resulted to a verbal covenant between Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte and Aldong Paruino. I believe President Rodrigo Roa Duterte ordered the killing of Aldong Paruino because they know too much of each other in the bill of gangsterism and barbarism. One monster, Mayor, now President Rodrigo Rua Duterte, had to undo. The other, to preserve and protect his deep-dyed persona in a treacherous way with the presumption of legality and regularity through police operation. For he is now living as His Excellency. The whole government squad network was used as Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte's personal killing machine. They took advantage of our blind loyalty to him and our greed for money to promote and protect his personal and political interests. All of our targets were killed based solely on the intel information and orders given by Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte himself, or through his evil lieutenants like Buenaventura and Mr. Christopher Bongo. Back then now, none of the double squad members attempted or even dared to validate these intel reports. And we just killed them simply because we believe in and blindly follow Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte. Looking back, then Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte's kill and terror policy in the campaign against criminality and illegal drugs were purely deceiving and misleading, just to spread his engineered evil, protect his hidden interests, and uncover up his crimes. For my participation in all these heinous crimes, I would like to sincerely apologize to the Filipino nation and to my family. I am sorry that I have been blind, sinful, hurtful, and greedy. I also apologize for I have been disloyal to my profession. As a policeman whose sworn duty is to serve and protect the Filipino people. I, along with my fellow members of the Duterte Death Squad or Double Death Squad, have allowed ourselves to be turned into monsters by our evil master, Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte. I know that this apology and this complete revelation of the evil deeds and crimes of Mayor Rodrigo Rua Duterte are not enough to ease the pain of the families of the victims we have killed. It is also not enough to redeem my lost soul. But this is the least I can do. To try to make up for the monstrosity that I have done. More importantly, I am hoping that this will be an important step in finally stopping this evil, this monster, Rodrigo Rua Duterte. His terror, death, and destruction that Rodrigo Rua Duterte had imposed on our country and our people. May the unmerciful God, the Son Jesus Christ, forgive me for all the evil deeds I have done. I am citing this affidavit to attest to the true existence of the state-sponsored extrajudicial killing and terrorism through the Duterte Death Squad or Double Death Squad at Munghang, now operating nationwide. And for whatever legal purpose it may serve. I am now fixing my signature this day, October 8, 2020. God bless to all and mabuhay Pilipinas. Thank you.
Okay. So, that's it, no? Senator De Lima?
Just to inform this body, actually, what Mr. Dascanias read in that video is the conclusion found in his ICC affidavit. So that's another proof that this copy that I have of an affidavit of Mr. Dascanias, which he submitted to the ICC, is the same as what really is talking about the affidavit that he validated. Kasi binasa lang po niya yung conclusion portion at the end of his affidavit.
Okay. Sige.
Yun lang po.
Okay, thank you, Senator. The next to interpret is Congressman Keith Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I have questions for Mr. Buenaventura. Just a little disclosure, Mr. Chair. I know the lawyer of Buenaventura, he being a classmate of mine in law school. Now, Mr. Buenaventura, your name was mentioned by Las Cañas in his affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor.
And siguro the reasons for Las Cañas in executing that affidavit may be baka may personal na nagalit siya kay Digong o baka may promises si Digong na hindi naibigay sa kanya. Posible, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi may personal siyang galit kay Digong or something like that.
Yes, Your Honor.
May masabi ka bang galit si Las Cañas sa'yo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Bakit siya galit sa'yo?
Ganito kasi yan, Your Honor. Noong may hearing sa Senate tungkol sa rice smuggling, sa totoo po, ang nag-produce ng picture ni David Bangayan is Las Cañas.
Okay?
Siya ang nag-produce. Parang nagtawag siya sa akin noon, tapos sabi niya, mayroon akong picture ni David Bangayan. So, ipakuha mo sa opisina. So, yun ang dinala sa yun ang dinala ni then Mayor Duterte sa hearing ng Senado sa Senate. Doon niya pinakita si David Bangayan.
Okay?
Kasi walang kuwan si Mayor, hindi niya kilala. So nagkuhan siya ng picture. So nagkuhan si Las Cañas na siya ang magbigay ng picture ni David Bangayan. So nangyari po yung hearing doon, Your Honor, about David Bangayan, rice smuggling. After sa hearing, Your Honor, tumawag si Las Cañas sa akin.
Alright?
Son, pag wala na si David Bangayan, tayo na ang, kumbaga, kita na ang magdiskusyo sa bugas, smuggling. Sabi ko, Tor, hindi ganyan si PRRD. Hindi ganyan si Sir. Kasi sa isip ko na Your pag magsabi sa akin, pag sabi ko kasi kilala ko si Sir, kilala ko siya, hindi nila magpayag doon. Na kung ano sabihin nila, pag sabi ko kay Sir, pagbigyan, hindi yun Your Sa totoo lang, tumawag siya sa akin na saan tayo na. Dahil,
So, explain mo lang bakit siya may galit sa'yo.
yun po, hindi ba natuloy yung sabi niya, tayo nang mag-isbagay ng bugas, sabihin mo, sabi mo kay Sir, tayo na papalit. Not exactly sabi kay Sir, kami na ang papalit na mag-isbagol ng bigas. Hindi ako pumayag dahil hindi ganyan si PRRD.
So, just because hindi ka pumayag na kayo ang papalit na mag-smuggle ng rice sa Davao, sa tingin mo, yun na ang reason bakit minimension ka ni Art Las Cañas sa affidavit niya?
At pati na yung nanalo na si PRRD ng Presidente, Your Honor. tumawag sa akin, naimbestigahan man yan sa Senate, naimbestigahan at
Ako, just give me a reason na sinabi mong may galit si Art Lascania sa'yo.
Kasi tumawag siya sa akin, sabi niya, yung loto, yung STL,
Okay?
equal kay PRRD na magkuha ng STL at
Gusto
saka
siya
yung
kukuha ng franchise ng STL.
STL po at saka yung linya ng ban.
Okay? Franchise din.
Franchise ng ban, Your Honor, sa LTFRB.
So, tinatawag niya sa'yo.
Kilala ko si PRRD, pero hindi talaga magpayag ng ganyan na makisali kami kung ako. Wala, isa pa, wala na ako, hindi namin magkita ni PRRD kaysa Manila na siya. Hindi na kami magkita ni PRRD kaysa Manila na siya. Sa isip kasi Your Honor, pwede pa ako magtawag, ganyan, maghingi ng... Ayaw ko, ilala ko si PRRD. Hindi talaga STL at saka yung ban.
Okay. Now, so kung hindi mo pinagbigyan na hindi mo dinala kay PRRD itong mga request ni Las Cañas, yan ang reason na sa tingin mo, galit si Las Cañas sa'yo, kaya in-include ka niya sa affidavit niya. Tama ba?
Yan siguro yun.
Yan siguro. Now, why would Las Cañas call you to inform you na hihingiin to kay President Duterte kung hindi
Kasi
ka
close siya.
kay Duterte?
Kaya malakas siya kay
Kasi
Duterte.
sa isip siguro niya, Your Honor, na pwede ka, sa isip nila na porket driver ako, driver bodyguard, before, pagka-presidente niya, wala na nga ako doon, Your Honor. Kahit ako, wala gani ako.
Oo nga. Sige.
So, gusto lang maghingi, nagkuhan ako.
Kaya nga, but of all people na pwedeng tawagan ni Art, bakit ikaw? Pwede naman siguro
Kasi
tumawag si Art kay
Bongo.
Bongo, di ba? Kilala naman ni Art si Bongo, tama?
Kumbaga, Your Honor, sa tingin niya, makatulong ako.
Oo, sa tingin niya makatulong ka.
Your
Because
Honor.
nga, hindi ka lang driver bodyguard. Malakas ka rin kay PRRD. Siguro.
Hindi
Sa tingin
naman.
niya, Artless ka niya.
Ayaw, sa tingin niya, Your Honor.
Okay. So now, minention kasi ni Las Cañas na yung in his affidavit na itong, remember mo itong si Mrs. Abaca, yung nakidnap?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo, so di ba nakidnap si Mrs. Abaca, and then sabi ni Art sa affidavit niya na inutos daw ni Duterte na kunin din yung pamilya nung nagkidnap kay Mrs. Abaca. As explanation niya sa affidavit niya. Nabalitaan mo ba to?
Sila yun, dahil nandiyan pa yun si Colonel Makasahit.
Colonel Makasahit.
Sa kanila, police work nila yun, Your Honor.
Police work.
Police work nila yun na mag-follow up sila.
Yes.
Under sila ni Colonel Makasahit.
Police work nga. But isn't it a fact na itong police work na sinasabi mo nagresulta sa pagpatay sa buong pamilya ng suspected kidnapper ng si Mr. Patahasa?
Hindi ko po yan alam, Your Honor.
Hindi mo alam. Okay, and hindi mo rin alam na yung supposedly area kung saan pinatay itong si Mr. Patahasa is at the Laod Quarry.
Yan ang sabi niya, Your Honor.
Yan ang sabi nila. Pero I've also been to the Laod Quarry. Galing din ako doon sa firing range, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero although hindi mo matansya siguro yung the size of the quarry, but may portions pa doon na hindi na part ng firing range. Tama ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
May isang daanan din doon, di ba, na medyo hindi mo na makita from the road.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun siguro yung sinasabi ni Congresswoman Mika Swansing kanina, kung alam mo ba, kasi yun daw ang allegations na doon nililibing yung ibang mga pinapatay ng Double Death Squad. Posible ba? Na yun ang tinutukoy ni Congresswoman Mika Swansing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung portions na hindi part na ng firing range.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, kilala mo si Art Las Cañas, tama ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anong rank ni Art Las Cañas? SPO4 ba?
SPO3 ata.
SPO3. No, SPO3 lang, but kilala ng lahat ng mga pulis at ng lahat ng mga taga Davao na si Art is the head of the heinous crime unit. Tama po ba?
Hindi po siya head, Your Honor.
Hindi. But siya yung main tao ni PRRD doon sa heinous crimes. Isa sa mga.
Main tao ni... Before naging mayor si then Mayor Duterte, Your Honor, tauhan na sila dati. Mula pa noon, tauhan na sila dati ni Colonel Makasait. Sila na yun, sila na yung grupo.
So, under si Las Cañas kay Colonel Makasait.
Yes, Your Honor.
But after Colonel Makasait retired or was died, di ba? Patay na si Colonel Makasait.
Yes, Your Honor.
Si Art na yung medyo tauhan ni PRRD doon.
Doon pa rin sa Heinous Crime, Your Honor.
Heinous crime, heinous
Separate unit yun.
Yeah, separate unit. Pero alam naman natin, no? If you've been in Davao, you'd know na medyo noted dito si Art na kung anong mga gusto na mangyari. Si Art ang parang nami-mention yung pangalan niya. Las Cañas.
Sa kapwa-pulis, Your Honor.
Sa mga kapwa-pulis, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, hindi naman siguro to lalabas tong mga pangalan or pagdawit kay Art Las Cañas kung wala namang siguro katotohanan ang mga usap-usapan or kwento-kwento.
Doon sa trabaho nila, Your Honor.
Yes, sa trabaho nila. And Davao City, in fairness to Davao City, di ba peaceful ang Davao, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
People would say that they're safe and secure whenever they go around sa Davao. Tama po.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's also noted that in Davao, there was a certain period in time na kahit snatcher, pinapatay. Di ba? Kahit snatcher ng cellphone, pinapatay dati. Tama po ba?
Sila siguro, Your Honor.
I mean, nababalitaan, di ba? Nababalitaan. Kikita ko sa news eh, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Although hindi naman sinasabi na Davao Death Squad, pero parang lahat ng mga tao doon ay na-associate itong pagpapatay sa mga kriminal, sa mga addict at mga pusher doon sa sinasabi nilang Davao Death Squad. Totoo po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Although hindi mo naman masabi for certain
Naging pulis ka
na
pa
may
kung wala kang
totoong
alam.
Davao Death Squad, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So posible din na gawa-gawa na lang ng pangalan nito to associate it with mga pagpatay sa mga kriminal sa Davao City. Would it be fair?
Yes, Your Honor.
See. So, bakit ang question ko lang, no? Kung kasi dina-downplay mo yung role mo kanina eh. Na driver bodyguard lang ni PRRD. But kahit retired ka na, Art would still be calling you para magpaalam na iparating kay PRRD na gusto niya tong van na franchise, gusto niya na STL na franchise. And parang hindi ko rin makuha kung siguro bakit ikaw, di ba?
Kaya nagkuhan ako, Your Honor, nag-declare ako, hindi ako nagkuhan na hindi ko na, wala na ako kay dead President Duterte. Sa Malacanang na yan, hindi na kami nagkikita.
Okay.
Sa totoo lang, Your Honor, sa totoo lang.
Okay. So, ang na-mention mo kanina is, baka may galit si Art Las Cañas sa'yo, kaya dinadawit ka doon sa affidavit niya. Tama ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, si Colonel Garma may galit pa sa'yo?
Wala na naman siguro, Your Honor. Iwan ko lang, Your Honor, kung anong, hindi ko kasi nakakuha yung isip nila, Your
So,
Honor.
wala ka alam na rason na baka may galit si Colonel Garma sa'yo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wala. Yes, wala,
Your Honor.
So,
Bakit
bakit
linawin?
mention ni Colonel Garma kung wala siyang galit sa'yo?
Yung sa kuha ko kanina, Your Honor, para ilihis lang ang investigasyon against sa kanya.
Okay. So, ilihis lang ang investigation sa kanya, and sa lahat ng taong pwede niya mapin down, ikaw yung
Ikaw
sinabi
lang.
niya.
Kasi sa isip nila, dating driver ako ni then President, yun, mapalapit.
Kaya bumabalik ka sa point na driver ka lang, ba security lang, but everyone seems to be, parang may deference sa'yo eh. Parang, uy, si Sunny yan. Di ba? Parang,
isip lang nila yun.
isip lang nila. Okay, so kilala mo si Charlie Tan?
Hindi, Your Honor.
So you've never been to ETK-TV?
Sorry po?
Hindi ka ba nakapunta sa ETK-TV?
Hindi po. Hindi po ako.
Yung abogado mo, nakakita ko dun.
Hindi po ako nag-joke.
Hindi naman.
Actually, Your Honor, hindi ako nag-inom.
Hindi ka uminom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, yun. Before coming over, alam mo nang in-invite ka ng QUADCOM. Pinaalam mo ba kay Mayor Duterte na pupunta ka dito?
Hindi po.
Hindi. So, hindi ka nag-abiso sa kanya na, Sir, pinatawag ko ng QUADCOM, but don't worry, hindi ka nilalaglag.
Hindi po, Your Honor. Hindi po, Your Honor.
Okay. So, you came over na ikaw lang, on your own volition.
Yes, Your Honor.
You mentioned kanina na 4,000 na lang yung naiwan sa bank account mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sinong bumili ng
Totoo talaga
ticket?
yun.
Sinong bumili ng ticket mo?
Ay, sa bangko lang yun, Your Honor.
So may pera ka outside
May,
bank.
may mga anak din naman ako, Your Honor.
Okay. So sinong nagbayad sa airfare ng abogado mo? Pulunod ako, nagmabuhay class pa yan.
Kami din, kami din.
Ganun. Okay. Sige. So anyway, Mr. Sunny Buenaventura, wala ka rin as driver bodyguard ni Mayor, you've never heard him talk about yung mga na-mention ni Art Las Cañas, like yung kay Mr. Patahasa. Hindi na-mention ni Mayor yan.
Ay, hindi po.
Okay. Hindi rin na-mention ni Mayor yung pagpatay kay Jun Pala.
Pagpatay kay John Pala, Your Honor, dawit ako ni Las Cañas. Dinawit niya ako na ako daw naguto sa kanya. Pero si Las Cañas ngayon, Your Honor, mayroon siyang warrant of arrest for killing John Pala.
Kailan lumabas yung warrant of arrest ni Art for killing Jun Pala?
Hindi ko alam, Your Honor, kuha ko lang na may warrant of arrest siya.
So sa tingin mo, may kinalaman si Art Las Cañas sa pagpatay kay Jun Pala?
Yung according to the witness, hindi ko alam, Your Honor, hindi ko masyado ko, Your Honor, dahil hindi ako nagakuan yung mga si Arturo Las Cañas kasi kung kilala nyo lang si Arturo Las Cañas.
Ano ba? Sige, sabihin mo, ano bang pagkakilala mo kay Art?
Yun, parang kung ano na lang ang gusto niya, yung masunod. Dahil yan nga, maghingi ng luto, maghingi ng mag-smuggle ng bigas. Kami daw ang mag-smuggle ng bigas.
Pero so, are you saying na si Art Las Cañas ay hindi trusted din na tao ni PRRD nung time na active pa si Art sa heinous crime?
Siya lang may sabi niya na ano.
Pero hindi naman siguro siya ipapahead ng heinous crime kung walang trust and confidence si Mayor Duterte sa kanya. Tama po ba?
Unit kasi ng pulis yung heinous crime, Your Honor, doon sila na-assign.
O kaya nga, pwede naman ipalipat ni Mayor si Art Las Cañas kung wala siyang
wala namang rason siguro, Your Honor, ba ipalipat.
o kaya, sabi mo, daming ginagawa si Art na gusto niya.
Wala, hindi naman nakakabot kay Presidente, Your Honor.
So hindi nakakaabot. Ha? Pero sa'yo nakakaabot.
Parang po lang, Your Honor, dahil hindi ako nagpayag na gano'n.
Hindi mo naman sinumbong kay Mayor na, Mayor, may hiningi si Art.
Ay, hindi naman kami nagkita, Your Honor. Presidente na siya, hindi na ako nakapunta sa Malacanang.
Alright. So, how about itong kay Ryan Yu at Chris Yu? Na-mention din ni Art Las Cañas na may kinalaman din ng former president sa pagpatay itong kay Ryan Yu at Chris
Grabe,
Yu.
dami.
May alam ka ba nito?
Si Your Honor, yun yung kuhan.
Carnapper.
Carnapper, Your Honor.
Baktin.
Baktin, Your Honor.
Di ba namatay din, o pinatay din to?
Buhay pa yun, Your Honor.
Ano yung isa, yung kapatid ang pinatay, di ba?
Parang yung kapatid ang namatay, Your Honor.
And wala kang alam about the participation or of Las Cañas dito?
Wala, Your Honor.
Wala namang order si Mayor Duterte na
Wala, Your Honor. Nagtrabaho lang
Trabaho
sila.
lang.
Follow up sila.
Thank you, Sir Sunny Buenaventura.
Thank you.
I have a few questions lang po to Senator De Lima. Ma'am, when you were CHR head, you made an investigation dun sa Loud Quarry, tama po ba?
Yes, we were trying to locate the mass graves.
The mass graves?
Yes, unfortunately, we didn't go there high enough. Kasi the Laod Quarry is a
it's a
hilly
cliff.
part.
Diba?
It's a cliff. It's a cliff. So yung team po namin, it's a small team, CHR and CITG, went to that particular area. At may nakita kami isa o dalawa na skeleton. Bungo.
But no mass grave?
no mass grave in that particular area. Wala po kami na-discover. We tried to dig several times, and dalawa lang po atang bones yung nakita namin. And then we were told later that hindi yun, that particular point. Mas mataas pa daw
Na location.
na location.
Alright. Now, ang question ko lang, it's really bothered me. But I know that this was also asked of you dun sa Senate. I just didn't get your answer. Now, you were like a dog on the bone when you were investigating that as CHR head. But what happened to this investigation when you became Secretary of Justice?
Theft.
But parang biglang nawala yung focus on this particular investigation.
When I left, wala pa ho yung resolution ng CHR. But I have my personal investigation notes.
Right.
Now, to my recollection, I shared it with the CHR.
Alright.
And then they issued a resolution in June of 2012.
You're throwing it back to the CHR, but you were already Secretary of Justice. You could have done more, di ba?
But at
Frankly
that
speaking
point,
po,
at that point, ano po yung hindi pa magiging ready and strong to file cases. Kasi yung na-access namin na tatlo na mga who said that they're also hitmen before,
Yeah.
they didn't want to testify publicly. Pero nakausap po namin sila. And may mga sinabi nga po sila.
Could you not have
we
directed
interviewed-
law enforcement agencies to conduct further investigations on the matter, like NBI or?
Well, I remember that I assigned to NBI to make some follow-up investigation or to just investigate still the DDS. But when I asked them about developments, ang sabi po nila, nahihirapan po sila dahil walang mga nakahanap na mga willing witnesses.
So are you saying po na you were able to do more as CHR head rather than as Secretary of Justice?
Yes, because nakatutok po ako doon in 2009 when we started our
Kaya
investigation.
I said po na you were like a dog on a bone at that
Yes.
time.
Yes.
But then biglang
I became Secretary of Justice and I have more things to attend to, more high-profile investigations, including the Napoles PDAF pork barrel scam. So, but I give that order to the NBI to further investigate. But when I asked them, as I said, wala silang mapoproduce na talagang real, credible evidence. Si Matubato ko kasi sa Las Cañas, kahit na-mention na po sila dun sa CHR investigation namin, but they were not yet there. We did not meet them. We didn't know who exactly they are. At sumulpot na lang po si Edgar Matubato nung nagpa-cover siya ng under Witness Protection Program. Although, as I said in my presentation kanina, in 2016, nung naging presidente na po si Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ay nagpaalam na siya kasi natatakot daw siya kasi presidente na. So, we can't force witnesses under the WPP to stay if they don't want to. Yun po ang policy. So wala pa ho yung affidavit ni Edgar Matubato at the time. Wala pa yung affidavit ni Las Cañas. Las Cañas only appeared also in 2016 nung iniimbestigahan na po namin sa Senado. Although as I said, during his first appearance, he denied the existence of DDS and that he is part of the DDS. Pero noong February 2017, he executed an affidavit saying that there is indeed DDS, is part of it among at the top, including sila Sani Buenaventura, Laud, yung mga minention ko po kanina. So, wala pa yung noon. Siguro kung nandun yung mga affidavits na yon, I would have insisted na talagang ituloy talaga yung investigasyon at pwede nang gamitin yung affidavits na Matubato and Las Cañas. But they were not yet there. when I was at the CHR, and then sa DOJ. Kasi even if pumunta sa amin si Edgar Matobato, ang complaint niya is about torture. Tinorture daw po siya ng mga kasamahan niya dahil parang frame up siya doon sa murder ng isang businessman, Mr. King.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Congressman Flores. The next to interpolate is Congressman Rog Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, few questions lang po. I'd like to direct my first questions to Mr. Buenaventura. Good evening po, sir. Mr. Buenaventura, the Honorable Chairman, of course.
Trust ni Ma'am Ai.
Napagit po ninyo na kayo ay personal bodyguard driver po ni dating Mayor.
Yes,
Duterte na po.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yung active years niyo po ay from 1988 to 2008.
Yes, Your Honor.
Po ba? Nung kayo po ay personal driver bodyguard, ito po ay nung kayo po ay driver bodyguard, kayo po ay personal lang po kay Mayor Duterte or assigned po sa family?
Kay Mayor Duterte po.
Kay Mayor Duterte lang po. At nung panahon na po ito, generally, nag-iisa ka lang po or may team po kayo?
Yung other security po.
May other security. At any one time po, mga ilan po kayong security ni Mayor Duterte?
Apat.
Mga apat po. And but in all those instances, ikaw po yung personal, yung sa kotse niya mismo.
Ako nag-drive sa kanya.
Palagi po yun. Wala kang switch.
Wala.
May kabali po kayo sa kotse na yun.
Kami ng dalawa, Your Honor.
Kayong dalawa lang po. So yung tatlo or more, backup
Your
lang po.
Honor.
So talagang kayo po yung katiwala ni Mayor Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nabagit po yung sa family, hindi po kayo nag-drive sa mga anak?
Hindi po.
From 1988 to 2008, tama po ba merong, may time po period po dito na si Mayor Duterte ay isang congressman?
One year, Your Honor. 1999 to 2001.
Tama po, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
At that time po, naka-assign pa rin po kayo kay Mayor Duterte?
Sa Davao lang po ako, Your Honor. Magpunta siya sa Manila, naiwan lang ako sa Davao.
Okay, pero assign po kayo sa local?
Yes,
So, unbroken naman po yung ano 2008?
Yes, Your Honor.
At nabagit po ninyo, 2008 onwards, hindi na po kayo na-assign kay Mayor Duterte? At 2009 onwards?
Yeah, 2001.
Sorry po. Yung
2009.
2009 po, retired na po kayo.
2008. December 31, 2008. Your Honor.
December 2008, retired na po kayo. So 2009 onwards, private citizen na lang po kayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero saan po kayo nagtrabaho at that time?
Diyan, nagkuha lang ko dyan sa City Hall, Your Honor. Diyan sa office.
So sa City Hall po kayo nagtrabaho?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, government employee po kayo at the
Yes,
time?
Your Honor.
At
Elected
sino po
pa
yung
rin.
mayor at the time?
Means si Mayor Sara.
This was 2009.
Paging si Mayor, Your Honor, palit-palit sila.
Palit.
Mayor Sara, Mayor Rudy,
Ano po yung trabaho po ninyo sa City Hall?
security officer po, Your Honor.
So in line pa rin po sa iyong
Sabi mo, hindi ka na connected.
usual na nangyayari.
Sinungaling.
Pag retire as PNP, security pa rin po, no? So, naging citizen security po kayo ng City Hall. But
Yes,
still
sir.
serving the same administration kay Mayor Duterte pa rin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero naabutan mo rin po yung yung pag-switch po sa mga anak.
Yes, Your Honor.
Until what year po kayo naging civilian security po sa Davao City Hall?
2021, Your Honor.
Napaka-recent po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, hindi po familiar po, no? When you retired from 2008, ano po yung edad po niyo at the time?
52, Your Honor. Early retirement, Your Honor.
Early retirement po. Yung usual is 55, 56 po.
56, Your Honor.
Sinungaling.
So early retirement at 52. And from 2008, 18 would be 62. Mga 64 na po kayo when you were disconnected from the City Hall. Tama po ba?
65, Your
65,
Honor.
mandatory retirement.
Yes, Your Honor.
So all throughout pala po, it gave the impression po that you were no longer employed by Mayor Duterte in 2008. Pero 2009 onwards, technically, boss niyo pa rin po. As civil
As
service
Mayor,
City Hall.
as Mayor. City Hall po.
Opo. During that time po ba kayo ay na-assign as bodyguard driver ni Mayor Duterte?
Wala na po.
Wala po. So talagang sa City Hall na lang po.
Opisina po.
Balik na po ako sa iyo, Mr. Buenaventura po. No? Mr. Chairman, I'd like to direct some of my questions to the Honorable former Congressman, former Senator De Lima, if you please indulge us. Former Senator, may we ask po, earlier you gave us a presentation, a more expanded presentation of your previous submission po. Would it be okay if we ask that you just flash the slide again in relation to the structure of the DDS based on your investigation? If it's ready, but if not, then I could just
It can be ready.
Can be ready. If the Secretariat would please assist me through the Honorable Chair.
Cute kita na ng congressman yung as ni Ma'am Ayong.
Mr. Chair, while that is being prepared, perhaps I just have some preliminary questions leading up to it. And we've gotten the background. We understand, of course, that during your stint as the CHA chairperson, that you had an investigation into this. It was cut short when you were appointed as DOJ secretary, but the resolution did come afterwards. May we ask, during this time, the presentation that you presented earlier regarding the structure of the Davao Death Squad, this was based on the CHR investigation or with further pieces from DOJ?
You're asking about the diagram?
Yes,
Of
the diagram with the
organizational
structure, yes.
structure of the DDS. These are from Arturo Lascanya's affidavit also. These were attached. These were attached to the ICC affidavit.
And this was presented at the time of the investigation to CHR?
DUTERTE squad.
No.
Not yet.
Just very raw information about the existence of the DDS, but not actually the structure, the organizational structure. Because if you notice from those attachments, yung 3 periods nga po ang kinover from 1989 to 1998, 1998 to 2001, and 2001 to 2016.
Maglabas na kami magkain mamaya, hindi pa kami nakadinner.
But this is based on the Scanias affidavit. These were attached. Siya po ang nag-prepare nitong mga attachments na to. First in handwriting, then it was converted into something printed or typed.
Former Senator, the Las Cañas affidavit came out in what year?
2020. And he attested to that he signed it in October 8, 2020. And then almost a month later, nandun na po siya sa ICC, he was granted limited on the basis when he submitted this on the same day that he signed it. That was October 8, 2022.
Thank you. Former Senator, when the Las Cañas affidavit was completed, you mentioned that prior to that, you had raw data that would already confirm some of the facts that Mr. Las Cañas laid out in his affidavit.
Yes, some from the 3 witnesses, the 3 who claimed to be members also of the DDS, but they didn't want to appear. Just some limited information about the DDS. All these 3 confirm that there is a DDS. So and then they narrated some of their experiences. But then again, as I said, ayaw po nilang lumantad at that time. Hindi ko nga po alam kung nasaan na sila ngayon. The 3 of them. Who used aliases.
Thank you, former Senator. Just a follow-up question on that. So prior to the Las Cañas affidavit, you've already had an idea during the CHR investigation through these 3 witnesses who provided some raw data. Did they provide names that were confirmed in the Las Cañas affidavit? Or it was just some general facts regarding the DDS?
It's just general facts, as I recall it, with respect to those 3 witnesses, the aliases.
So in the case of the resource person present today who has been alluded to in the Las Cañas affidavit. Mr. Buenaventura, the first
Several
time,
times.
Oh,
He
several
was alluded
times.
to several times. In fact, in his chart, in the organizational chart, for all 3 periods, in 1989 to 1998, he was the chief security. And he did admit that he was the chief security. Now, in the second period, 1998 to 2001, according to Las Cañas, he became the de facto leader, SPO4, dun po sa organizational chart. SPO4 Sunny Buenaventura, now our de facto leader. Yun ang pagkaka-describe dito sa organizational chart as prepared by Las Cañas. Doon naman sa period of 2001 to 2016, he is referred to here as the logistic financer, death clearance officer. And sa the whole affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas, several times he would say that the order to kill several times was coursed through Sunny Buenaventura.
Thank you. Of note is that the third art chart that they presented is for the period of 2001 to 2016. So this is the transitory period from which 2001 to 2008 still in service si Mr. Buenaventura, and 2009 to 2016 as civil security.
2001 to 2016.
Yes.
Yung sa umpisa po yun, yung pagiging chief security ni Mayor RRD, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, in 1989 to 1998.
So it spans throughout his whole career. Former Senator, just one more question. Regarding the 3 witnesses, did they at any time identify Mr. Buenaventura? The 3 witnesses from the CHR investigation.
I don't remember,
So
Your
it's
Honor.
mostly the Las Cañas affidavit.
Las Cañas and Matubato.
Oh, and
But I
Matubato.
can check my personal investigation notes. And maybe next time, if it's there, I will inform the honorable body.
Thank you, former Senator. That would be much appreciated. I will have some further questions later on, but I'd like to go back to Mr. Buenaventura. So nabanggit na po ni former Senator De Lima yung instances in which nabanggit po kayo ni Mr. Las Cañas. So pero nabanggit rin po ninyo na baka posibleng may galit po sa inyo si Mr. Las Cañas, kaya naibanggit ko po kayo multiple times. However, it can't be denied po kasi na mukhang maraming persons po ang nagtuturo po sa inyo. We have po yung affidavit ni Ms. Garma. We have the affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas. We have based, of course, we're still to determine the 3 CHR witnesses, but we'll see po kung how far that goes. Pero nabanggit po ninyo, yung relationship po ninyo kay Mr. Las Cañas. Working relationship po ito, no? Dahil kayo ay kapwa policeman. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Opo. And this was up, sino pong unang nag-retire?
Ako po, early.
Early retirement po kayo. So at the time, in service pa rin po si Mr. Las Cañas.
Yes, Your Honor.
At what year po yung sinabi po ninyo na feeling nyo masama yung balak ni Mr. Las Cañas? Tama po ba? Ano po yung sinasabi niyo, sir, na parang iba si Mr. Las Cañas?
No.
Na may hinihinging smuggling?
Ayun,
May, opo, mga anong taon po yun?
Yung nag-investigate yung Senado, Your Honor, tungkol sa rice smuggling, yun, Your Honor. At saka yung nanalo na si PRRD as President, yun, Your Honor. 2016. Yung sa Senado, hindi ko nakuha yung date, Your Honor.
Okay po. Thank you, please. Mr. Chairman, please, I'd like to go back to former Senator De Lima. Apologies if you'd indulge us with a few more. I just remembered, you also had a presentation on the alleged quarry sites, and I believe you mentioned there were 3 or 4.
Yes, about 4, Your Honors.
And they would be attached to personalities involved with the DPS. Of course, we have one Mr. Loud, which was related to the Loud quarry. We also have a certain caretaker in Samal. May we have a rundown of these 4 figures po?
Okay, I'm tracing it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Specific incident of massacre upon order of then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte according to Las Cañas.
Yes, The DDS has at least 4 named dumping grounds. The largest is the Laud Gold Cup firing range quarry in Barangay Maa under SPO4 Bienvenido Laod. Another is only known as the Gaisano property, guarded by June Casas, alias Commander Toothpick, which allegedly contains around 200 bodies. The third is the Mandog Mass Grave under SPO3 Jim Tan. The fourth are the waters around Samal Island with the Ecoland Times Beach and the Gapos Resort of Samal Mayor Rogel Antalan as jump-off points. Matubato was the caretaker of Mayor Antalan's resort.
Thank you for
So, nag-testify ho si Mr. Matubato, then nagtatapon din sila doon ng mga bangkay.
So of the 4 mentioned personalities, we have SPO4 Laod and SPO3 Tan, who are presumably police personnel. Matobato, who has been confirmed to be from the CAFU.
Yes.
Do we have information on Mr. June Casas? What his affiliations are?
None, Your Honor, but I can check again my personal investigation notes.
That is sufficient. Thank you very much, former Senator. Balik lang po, Mr. Chairman, kay Mr. Buenaventura. So nabanggit po yung 4. Familiar po yung names po ba na to? Si SPO4 Laod na banggit po niyo, kaibigan po niyo, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Si June Casas,
Hindi ko kilala
may
yun.
familiar. Si SPO3 Tan,
Yes, Your Honor.
and si Mr. Matobato. Of course, nabanggit niyo yung
Yes,
45. So, si Mr. Matobato na nabanggit po ninyo, hindi niyo kasamahan, pero security daw ng isang mayor sa
Antalan po.
Mayor Antalan. Pero familiar po ba, was there any time na yung grupo po ninyo ay pumunta sa Samal, yung sinabi pong Samal Ecoland area?
Doon lang sa Samal yun, minsan magpunta lang kami, mayroon kaming kunting lugar doon, may bahay.
May taga-Samal po.
Again.
Meron lang po.
So minsan po, magpunta doon, mag-relax.
Okay. Yung Laod Quarry, nabanggit, pupunta na po kayo para mag-firing.
Wala na po.
Pero dati po yun, no?
Dati po.
Dati, okay. Yung sa Gaisano property ni Mr. June Casas, hindi po ito familiar sa inyo?
Hindi po.
At yung Mandog property under SPO3 Tan,
Hindi po.
hindi po kayo nakapunta. Ano po kaya yung binabanggit ni former Senator na Mandog property? Pagmamayari daw po ni SPO3 Tan.
Matagal na po yun na binabanggit. Matagal na po yun. Wala man din silang findings. Wala, hindi nila alam kung saan, hindi nila napuntahan yung lugar. According to Las Cañas, according Matubato, wala. Nandyan man yan kung mayroon yan, nandyan yan, Your Honor. Kung mayroon yan, nandyan yan.
So out of the 4, yung dalawa lang po ma-confirm na alam po ninyo, yung Laod and yung sa Samal.
Sa Samal, wala po.
Napagit po ninyo,
Hindi,
tama siya.
sa Samal, may bahay ako. May bahay lang ako doon. Hindi yung sabi ni Matubato, Your Honor.
Sige po.
Isa pa rin yan, hindi Your Honor.
Mr. Buenaventura, additional questions lang po. Napagit po ninyo na as personal driver, bodyguard po ni Mayor Duterte. I'm sure kasama po kayo most of the time, kahit sa mga meetings. Although minsan, I would understand na hindi po kayo sinasama. But generally, kapag may ka-meeting, alam po ninyo yun, no?
Ayun, Your Honor, doon lang ko sa secure yung sasakyan. Ganun. Hindi na ako sumali doon.
Hindi naman sumasali sa mga ganun.
Sali ka sa people
Yung
taking.
sinasabi, pero napanood po ninyo, Mr. Buenaventura, yung Senate hearing. Nabagit po ninyo na napanood po ninyo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung saan may mga binanggit si former President Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you confirm po may instance na alala na sinabi ni former Duterte na shoot them dead? Patayin ang mga kriminal?
Nandun man yun sa kuha ni Your Honor.
Apo. So, pero kayo po, familiar po kayo. Ito ba'y statement na palagi niya pong sinasabi?
Hindi naman, Your Honor.
Hindi naman po. Pero anong tingin po ninyo sa statement na ito? Parang pangampanya lang po ba ito? Or
Kasi minsan magsabi man yan si then Mayor Duterte na walang maniwala sa iyo. Pagsabihan mo na, oy, maganyan man yan siya. Siyempre, kailangan daw na mayroon ko para maniwala sila, medyo distansya sila o maghinto sila.
so talagang sinasabi niya yun, hindi lang siniseryoso, medyo
Yes, sir.
hindi lang.
Parang gano'n lang yung parang kailangan may laman, parang May
Pero-
command ba? May command.
Ganun po ba yung may command since 1988? Ganun na po ba yung kanyang personality?
Since naging mayor siya, Your Honor, yes.
Since naging mayor. So ever since nung nasama po kayo as personal driver bodyguard, since mayor, ganun na po talaga yung personality niya.
Yes,
Ganun
Your
po siya magsalita.
Para sa mga kriminal, Your Honor.
Yung inamin niya po sa Senate na sinabing he would encourage yung mga criminal to fight back para pwede patayin ng police. Kailan niyo po narinig yung ganun?
Doon na lang yun, Your Honor.
Doon lang sa Senate hearing. Hindi niyo po ito narinig dati na sinasabi sa mga meeting kung kasama mga
Wala
police.
yun.
Kasama wala po. Yung sinabi niya naman po na may DDS talaga at tinuro niya po kung sino man ang Davao COP kasama yan sa DDS. Tinuro niya pa nga po yung ibang mga chief of police po nandun.
Narinig ko lang po
Narinig.
doon, Your Honor.
So yung ganun na statement na yung Davao City Police ay DDS, hindi niyo po narinig dati pa.
Hindi naman, Your Honor, pag magkuhan kami, wala man siya sinasabi na ganyan.
Paano po yung nabanggit mong narinig na yung media, tinatawag po kayong DDS, kayong Davao City Police?
Siyempre, balita mo yun, Your Honor, ang media mang nagawa ng
Kailan po nagsimula nung term na yun?
Hindi ko na maalala, Your Honor.
Hindi mo maalala. At yung isa pang statement po ni former President Duterte na meron siyang personal na DDS squad. Never po narinig. At yung nabanggit niyang 7 na persons that he refused to name.
Sorry po.
May nabanggit po siya na 7 na tao na supposedly part of the DDS pero after further questioning, sabi niya di na niya po maalala. Wala po kayong ginala.
Wala.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I would just like to direct my questions again. Thank you, Mr. Buenaventura, to the former Senator, apologies, another. Former Senator De Lima, you seem to be very familiar with the Las Cañas affidavit.
Yes.
And we already established from the previous hearing that you've already presented that there seemed to be a two-pronged approach with the Davao template. First and foremost, there were the legitimate, supposedly on paper, police and state operations. This would be drug bust, buy bust, arrests, which would go south because of the nanlaban. And you mentioned that the nanlaban system originated in Davao. And of course, the second stage would be that of the extrajudicial killings, vigilante killings, either through Sinaloa-style executions, riding in tandem that have not been identified, at least have not been identified with the Davao City Police. Those are the two methods that they would pursue the drug war. Would that be a fair statement?
That would be a fair statement, except that I would have to modify about the vigilante killings. Now, because the killings of many were committed by DDS members. Meron din nga po silang mga may riding in tandem, meron din silang mga pattern that the use of the what was the knife? Butcher knife.
I speak.
Inamin po yun ni Matabato na meron silang ganon, ginagamit yun in some killings. So pagdating sa other killings outside of so-called police operations ay the vigilante killings, but some would be unknown, and then the others are actually members of the DDS. It's still the death squad.
I understand. So they both lead to that squad. Just would depend on if it would be a legitimate, at least on the surface, police operation or vigilante killings committed by the DDS. Opo.
Iba-iba po. Okay, yes, may police operations, pero meron ibang killings na talagang outright targeting for assassination.
But still the DDS po sila.
Still the DDS.
Madam Senator, were you familiar with any other method, yung so-called abduction order? Is this something that has appeared in the Las Cañas affidavit?
Yes. A couple, I think, of incidents about abduction first and then killing.
Are you aware of the origins of the abduction order? Was it
No, Your
instructed by any personality?
No, Your Honor. Abduction, but among the incidents, the operations, which I showed earlier, meron din pong yung abduction. As I said, abduction muna, then killing.
Did they appear after a certain year, or has this been a method employed as far back as you could see?
I would not be able to do a answer that. I don't have information on that.
Thank you very much, Senator Pio. So yun lang po. Going back to the questions earlier kay Mr. Buenaventura, yun lang po, balikan na lang po natin siguro yung nabanggit po na tinuturo po kayo ni sa investigation po ng CHR, 3 witnesses possibly. Tinuturo po kayo ni Mr. Las Cañas, tinuturo po kayo ni Ms. Garma. Ano po kayo yung reason nito? Mukhang not naman coordinate, pero they corroborate with each other na multiple times daw po nababanggit ang pangalan po ninyo. Not only as a member of the regions, but a ranking member, head of finance and logistics pa nga raw po by some documents. Ano po yung masasabi po ninyo dito, Mr. Buenaventura?
Yung ipinakita ni Ma'am Dilima, Your Honor, last hearing, nakalagay doon, Superman. Next is Colonel Makasait, Bongo, ako. Nandiyan si Colonel Makasait, Your Honor. Hindi pwedeng, under sila ni Colonel Makasait. Under sila. Doon sila magsunod sa kung anong instruction sa trabaho nila. Doon sila. Hindi yung maniwala sa akin, Your Honor. SPO4 lang ako. Si Colonel Makasait.
Pero yung nabanggit po nila earlier, na actually, my first time to hear it, yung binanggit mo ni Chairman Apop na it seems to be a practice sa uniformed personnel na despite the rank, dahil kayo po yung close-in ng mayor, pakikinggan po daw kayo. And you agree?
Hindi naman sa ganun, Your Honor, na sa trabaho nila, siyempre may sinusunod sila. Pero yung ako ang sa logistic, ako sa... Hindi totoo yun.
Sige po. I guess we'll just further questions at another time. I will yield to to our colleagues who might still have questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Salamat.
Thank you, Congressman Gutierrez. Chair, isang tanong lang, susugan ko lang yung tanong ni Mr. Buenaventura. Sa tagal mong nagserbisyo kay former President Duterte, kilala mo yung ugali niya.
Yes, Your Honor.
At alam mo na kung siya ay nagbibiro at kung siya ay seryoso, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung sinabi niya na kill. Kung ikaw nakadinig nun, anong ibig sabihin nun?
Parang kasi minsan, Your Honor, magsabihan siya na kailangan magsalita ka sa mga kriminal, yung medyo may laman para matakot sila.
So halimbawa, sinabi niya sa pulis, kill. Ikaw, pulis ka. Pag narinig mo yun, anong ibig sabihin nun?
Hindi naman, Your Honor. Siyempre, hindi pwede yung kill. Hindi naman yung Your Honor pwede na pag sabi niya kill, wala.
So, wala.
Wala, Your Honor.
So, hindi, ikaw, pag sinabi niyang kill, hindi ibig sabihin na sundin mo o gawin mo yung sinabi niya.
Yes, Your Honor. Hindi naman...
Ganun din ba tingin mo sa mga ibang mga pulis na nakakarinig ng ganong pronouncement ng ating Pangulo?
Siguro yun, hindi naman sa pagbagsabi lang kill, diretso ka na patay. Matagal na sana yun, Your Honor.
Sige. Thank you. The next to interpolate is Congressman Sian Adyong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I was about to ask the same question you just asked him now. But let me just take from there. Mr. Chair, I'd like to address the question again to Mr. Buenaventura. Mayang gabi.
Yes, Your
Ano,
Honor.
tulgo na ka? Tulgo na ka?
No, hindi pa man, Your Honor.
Kanina, inamin mo naman na 20 years ka. When did you start working for the mayor? 1998, no?
1998.
So, nag-stop na nawala ka being his security / driver in 2008. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, that's 20 years, no? 20 years ba yun? Or 1998, 2008, that's about 10 years. No? 10 years yun, no? 10 years, no? Tama. 10 years, no?
2008, Your Honor.
At kailan ka pala natapos mag-work kay...
2008, Your Honor.
Okay, so 10 years.
Yes. From 1988?
1988, not
Yes.
Kasi pagkarinig ko rin, so 20 years nga.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 20 years. So ibig sabihin kung ikukumpira natin sa isang tao, 20 years, pwedeng nakagraduate na yan sa college, no? Ganun katagal yung pinagsamahan yun ni then Mayor Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
At sinabi mo kanina, nung tinanong ka, ano yung galit sa'yo ni Las Cañas, kung may galit ba sa'yo si Las Cañas, sabi mo, meron. Tama, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At sinabi mo na sa palagay mo, ang galit sa'yo ni Las Cañas, o sabi natin sama ng loob, ay meron siyang hinihingi sa'yo na i-convey kay dating President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Tama yung sinabing STL, at saka yung kayo na lang daw yung mag-manage nung smuggling ng rice. Tama yun?
Yes, Your Honor. Pati yung sa Your Honor, franchise ng ban.
Okay, franchise ng ban. So, ang sinagot mo sa kanya is hindi mo sinabi kay Presidente, former President, no? Hindi mo pinabot.
Yes, Your Honor. Dahil, alam mo, sabi ko sa hindi magbayad yun to. Hindi maniwala sa amin, Your Honor.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, kilalang-kilala mo si Presidente kasi alam mo kung anong dapat na sabihin sa kanya eh. At saka anong dapat na hindi sabihin sa kanya, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
The mere fact na hindi mo pinaabot yung sasabihin sa iyo na hiningi sa iyo ni Las Cañas, it only proves to say na alam mo yung timpla ni former President.
Yes, Your
na
Honor.
o pwedeng ito ko sabihin kasi baka magalit siya sa akin. Di ba? Tama po ba yun?
Yes, pero ang nasaan din na Your Honor, wala. Nasa Manila na siya.
Hindi. Hindi. Kasi pwede mo naman siyang tawagan eh. Si Presidente at sabihin sa kanya, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ibig sabihin, ganun ka kayo ka-close ni President, no? Former President. Na to a point na nilapitan ka na of all the people, sabi nga ni Congressman Kit, of all the people, ikaw pa yung nilapitan niya.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kabalo man ta sa Bisaya, kita taga Mindanao. Diba? Nalapitan natin kung alam natin yung tao na sinong mas malapit sa kanya, di ba? Tama naman yun, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, okay. So, ibig sabihin, for 20 years, kayong nagmamaneho kay former President, kung saan siya pupunta, dinadala mo siya, inaantay mo siya, sabi mo, sinisecure mo yung sasakyan, hindi ba?
Yes, sir.
So, ibig sabihin, pag madaling araw na lumalabas siya or pag yung meeting niya sobrang tagal tapos madaling araw, nandun ka pa rin sa sasakyan at inaantay mo siya, tama ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sa pag kayong nagmamaneho, sigurado, syempre, kilala mo yung timpla niya, kilala mo kung paano yung ayaw niya marinig, kilala mo yung anong okay sa kanya marinig, kaya nga hindi mo pinaabot yung hiningi siya ni Las Cañas. Alam mo kung paano siya magalit, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At alam mo kung kailan siya nagiging seryoso, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At alam mo kung kailan siya nagjo-joke, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sige. So, sa palagay niyo ba si Mayor Duterte nung siya naging mayor is seryoso sa tatrabaho? I mean, did he take his job as mayor seriously or as a joke?
Seriously, Your Honor.
Okay, seriously. Ngayon, nung dating mayor ho siya, palati ho niyang naririnig ito. Ako, nasa college ho ako noon eh. Nanonood pa ako ng mga news. Minsan, nai-interview siya at sinasabi talaga niya na kill. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
When it comes to issue about Davao, peace and order in Davao, law and order in Davao, talagang always sinasabi niya, do not do monkey business. I'm just paraphrasing do not do criminal activities in my city, otherwise I will kill you. Hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, yun ay concern ng kanyang city, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, sinabi mo kanina, nung tinanong kita, is he taking the issue of Davao, peace and order in Davao seriously? Is he taking his job? Ang sabi niyo, yes, he's taking it seriously. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga pronouncement niya regarding killing petty criminals, cleaning the streets of Davao from every form of criminalities, ay seryoso siya doon.
Hindi naman yung Lord. Yung magsabi siya, kill. Kailangan
Oh, kasi, di ba, ang tinanong ko sa'yo kanina is he taking his job seriously? Sabi mo, oo, kasi kilala mo nga yung dating presidente. 20 years ka pa naman. Kung ako naman talaga, si former president, if I were in issue, talagang 20 years kasama ko yung tao, pagkakatiwalaan ko talaga. Ngayon, tinanong kita, when it comes to Davao issue, is he taking his job seriously? Sabi mo, yes, it's not a joke. Ngayon, when he said all of those things, insinuations about cleaning Davao City from petty criminals or any form of criminality, and then saying na so loosely, saying kill people, is he serious or not? Kasi Davao yun eh, he must have been taking it seriously.
Sa salita lang niya, kailangan strong siya magsalita. Yan ang sabi niya. Hindi ka pwede magsalita sa mga kriminal video ko. Kailangan,
okay, and yet may namamatay sa Davao.
hindi ko man nakita siya nagpatay, Your Honor.
No, and yet may namamatay sa Davao.
Yan ang sabi niya sa mga pulis, ayaw ko na kayo ang mamatay.
Oh yeah, kaya nga, no, that's given. Sino ba naman ang gustong mamatay ng mga pulis? So, di ba? Ayaw naman talaga natin may mamatay. The way we, ayaw talaga natin mamatay. So, pero yung tatanong ko sa iyo is, kasi gusto kong maintindihan, no? Gusto kong maintindihan talaga yung mindset. Dahil kanina, nung tinatanong ka, napanood mo ba yung mga katanungan at saka yung mga sagot ng dating presidente nung sa Senado, ang sabi niya is talagang ganun siya. I will order the police even when I was still, I think, teaching, when he was still a fiscal. Nagtuturo daw siya sa academy. And ang gusto niyang sinasabi niya sa mga police is provoke the criminal so that you have the reason to kill them. Diba? And dumating naman pag tinanong na naman yung mga kasamahan niya sa Senado, ang sinabi naman nila is joke. Ngayon, gusto lang namin maintindihan dahil mukhang ikaw, you have that access with the President. Yung closeness in yung proximity ng parati kayo nagkasama at ikaw yung pwede magsabi na totoo ba yung sinasabi niya, serious ba siya, or joke ba yung sinasabi niya, di ba? Gusto ko lang maintindihan yon. So ngayon, balikan ko yung tanong ko kanina at sinabi mo naman, kinonfirm mo naman na pagdating sa Davao City, talagang seryoso talaga siya. He's taking his job seriously and we should all take our job seriously. Yung nga yung pagsabi niya ng kill, and yet may namamatay nga sa Davao, ano yung tingin mo doon sa palagay mo?
Magsabi yan siya, Your Honor.
No, anong kya? Okay.
Kung maglaban.
Ano po?
Kung maglaban.
Kung maglaban. So,
yes, Your Honor.
So, yung mga namamatay po dati, nung naging presidente siya, na ilang namatay po na ang sinasabi po ng ating mga pulis ay nanlaban. Nanlaban. Ibig sabihin ay pinatotohanan nila yung order niya na provoke them and then so you have the right to kill them. Ay, yung bang gusto mong sabihin sa amin?
No, hindi ko alam yun.
Hindi, kasi sinabi mo na ngayon na kung manlaban eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
So yun nga nangyari.
Self-defense siya sa pulis.
Yun nga nangyari. Kaya nga nandito tayo kasi mukhang may mga question doon sa implementation ng tukhang. Kasi may mga issue dito na even ang mga PNP, may mga nakasuhan. I'm sorry to our mga men in uniform, I'm not trying to generalize. May mga cases talaga na ang always na sinasabi ay nanlaban. At yun ang nagiging rason kung bakit widespread yung mga naging namatay. No? So are you telling us now to this committee, Mr. Buenaventura, na tama nga yung pagkaintindi ng mga pulis. That's why maraming patayan sa streets na nanlaban. It's because sinasabi ng ating presidente, provoke them, or kung manlaban, shoot them dead.
Hindi ko po alam yun.
Gusto ko lang pagtagpiin, no? Kasi I think the former president is serious when it comes to peace and order. pagdating ata sa peace and order at saka pag-clean ng criminality sa streets, talagang alam ko seryoso siya dyan, hindi siya nagbibiro, hindi ho ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, mukhang sa palagay ko naman si Mr. Buenaventura in a way at least napakita natin sa committee na through his answers is medyo may semblance of truthfulness nung yung mga police, unfortunately na mga cases of EJK na namatay dahil nanlaban, always ang reason, nanlaban, or yung mga sinasabi nilang provoke the police na narinig naman natin sa testimony ng dating Pangulo ay yung napagkaintindi na karamihan ng ating mga kapulisan. That's why nandito tayo at iniimbestiga natin ang EJK sa mga panahon na ito. Dahil sabi ko nga, Mr. Buenaventura, meron kang access sa Presidente, pinagkakatiwalaan ka niya. At lahat naman ang sinasabi mo dito ay naniniwala kami dahil alam ko, for the past 20 years, hindi ho kayo magiging security ng dating Pangulo, hindi ho siya may tiwala sa inyo. So, with that, Mr. Chair, I think baka by next hearing, we can dig deeper and then ask questions regarding the testimony of Las Cañas so that we can also compare kung bakit si Mr. Buenaventura ay parating lumalabas yung kanyang pangalan. Not so much because he was a policeman, but maybe because of his association or his closeness with the former president, Mr. Chair. So marami pong salamat. Maayong gabi, Mr. Buenaventura.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Congressman Adjong.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Yes, former Senator De Lima.
can I intervene? With respect to the questions of Congressman Gutierrez, I already checked the records about the numbers of abduction. There are actually more than 2 cases of abduction. If I may be allowed to.
Yes, please proceed.
The abduction and massacre of the Matasaha family between 1992 to 1995. The abduction that led to the kidnapping for ransom of Mr. Alan Yap and Danny Ong in separate incidents, that's 1992 to 95. The abduction and beheading of suspected would-be assassin of Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte and his woman companion, that's in 1994 to 1996. The abduction and killing of former constabulary soldier, Master Sergeant June Bersabal in Samal Island, 1993. The abduction, the asking for ransom money, and killing of a suspected terrorist, Mr. Maktoum, in 1999. The abduction and killing of 3 male Muslim individuals who were suspected bomber and Shabu couriers from Cotabato City, that's from 1999 to 2000. The abduction and killing of 2 Muslim small-scale miners in Mati, Davao Oriental, in 1999 to 2000. The abduction and killing of Mr. Nur Kamamara Muslim Village in Diversion Road, Davao City, that's between 1999 to 2000. The abduction and killing of SPO4 Sonny Buenaventura's neighbor, an errand boy in Samal Island, whom our group called alias Manok. The abduction that was in between 2006 to 2007. The abduction and killing of 1 Taiwanese national and 2 Filipino collateral damage between 2007 to 2008. The abduction and killing of a dance instructor as ordered by Mayor RRD, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, through SPO4 Sonny Buenaventura, that's between 2008 to 2009. The abduction and killing of Philippine Army Master Surgeon under General Jovito Palparan and a woman as a collateral damage in 2010. The abduction of persons of interest allegedly involved in the killing of Mr. Richard King That's in 2014. So there were in fact several cases of abductions before they are killed. And then about whether or not, Congressman Gutierrez, you asked about whether or not Sonny Buenaventura was identified already by the CHR witnesses. I just checked. Yes, he was. That's why during the CHR investigation, we also managed to come up with organizational structure, because those 3 witnesses, the aliases witnesses, had also explained that and mentioned some names, including Sonny Buenaventura's name. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman Gutierrez.
Mr. Chair, just to manifest my appreciation and gratitude for the quick revert of Senator Lima, and also to manifest then that this would finally confirm that the affidavits pointing to SBO for Buenaventura are the affidavits of Colonel Garma, the affidavit of Arturo Las Cañas, and of course now the 3 identified witnesses of the CHR, as compared to the plain denial of Mr. Buenaventura. Just for the appreciation of the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, there is one other case of abduction. I failed to mention it. The abduction and killing of former NPA Sparrow Unit Liquidation Squad team leader and personal bodyguard of Major Makasaet, alias Commander Pepot, and his 3 unidentified companions as collateral damage. That was in between 2003 and 2004. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Congressman, former Senator De Lima. The next to interpolate with short manifestation, or is this a interpolation by Congressman Benny Abante? Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just would like to manifest when we had our second hearing in the Committee on Human Rights. I asked the Philippine National Police for the data of those who died in police operations. And I think that it must be said here publicly so that people would know. According to this data submitted to me by General Bakay, from period covered July 1, 2016 to June 30, 2022. Drug lord that were killed, 21, financier, 9, maintainer, 18, operator, 12, pusher, 7,173, user, 440. Now, we were told that most of these killed, if not all, were killed sapagkat sila ay nanlaban. Therefore, the question is, kung sila po'y nanlaban, meron nakuhang ebidensya ang mga kapulisan natin at sila ngayon ay nandun sa tinatawag nating doon? The Philippine National Police Crime Lab. Crime Laboratory, no? Therefore, Mr. Chair, kung 7,173 pushers ang nanlaban at 440 users din naman ang nanlaban, therefore there should be more than 7,000 guns that are in the crime lab of the Philippine National Police today. Ito lang po ang nais kong sabihin, Mr. Chair. If I may also suggest that perhaps we in the QUADCOM could be able to have an ocular inspection on the crime lab of the Philippine National Police to find out that if indeed there are enough guns that they have actually confiscated evidence in the killing of more than 7,000 people. Mr. Chair. Yun lang po ang gusto kong sabihin. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Buenaventura. Yes, we will schedule an ocular visit in the, where do you want to visit? In the crime lab. Okay, the crime lab, as soon as our schedule permits. So,
I'm sure, Mr. Chair, yung mga baril kasi dapat may danger sa may pangalan.
yes.
Smart. So therefore, na natin maigi kung talagang nanlaban itong halos lahat na 7,000.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Buenaventura. The next to interpolate, the second to the last is Congressman Dan Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kapraso lang po to.
Pasensya talaga, hindi ko nabasa comment nyo. Isa lang kasi cellphone ko nadala.
Ako sa photo at Mr. Sally Buenaventura. Papatagal po kayo kay former President, no? At,
Yes, Your Honor.
ilan na po yung napatayin niyo po
Agoy!
Isa lang po.
sa buhay niyo?
Nakasuhan na po ako sa Napolcom. Nakasuhan po ako matagal na po yun, mga 1987. Hindi pa PRC, then Mayor Duterte. Hindi pa siya Mayor, mayroong police assistance. May nabaril po ako na patay. Kinasuhan po ako sa Napolcom Administrative.
Bakit niyo po napatay, Mr. Sally?
Extortionist po.
Extortionist.
Yeah po.
At because of that, can you kindly tell us guys the whole story?
Yun po, na may nagtawag ng police assistance, binuntahan namin. May baril talaga yun.
Saan po kayo naka-istasyon during that time?
Sa police station, Your Honor.
Oo nga po, saan nga pong police station?
Sa po.
Sa Sasa, ayun.
Sasa police station.
Kala ko sa police station. So sa Sasa police station kayo naka-assign?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung saan doon din-assign si Colonel Garma, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At yung pong pag-respondin nyo ay kayo ang head ng Sasa police station nung mapatay niyo po.
No, walang, Your Honor.
Ano rango po niyo during that time?
SPO3?
SPO3.
SPOT na.
Okay, at year ano po yan? 19 ano po?
I think 87, Your Honor, 87.
At ang tingin nyo, yun po naging caliber nyo. O yun ang naging tinatawag nating isang quality. And that's the reason why you were hired by the former president. Am I correct?
Hindi naman siguro, Your Honor.
Ay, anong quality nyo po?
Trabaho lang po yun, police
Bakit
assistance.
po kayo kinuha ni former president? Ano po yung quality nyo na nagustuhan niya?
Para naging imanan siya ng pulis, ako ang ibinigay, Your Honor. Ako ang i-assign.
And then, after that, kayo na yung nagustuhan niya for 20 years.
Siguro.
At, salamat lang nyo, but according sa Secretary, former Secretary, di ba, ilan po yung
Patayin ko muna, kay magkain muna kami. Bye-bye.
ito po yung listahan na sinasabi nyo,